I fly out Monday morning at 5 a.m. and I'm going to go to the Truth About Cancer. But I have to go that early because it just happens that every time people are flying right now, their flight changes. So there's all kinds of, it's all supposed to be that way. So we got a plan for them to screw us around. Whatever a corporation is, you got to know you're going to have difficulty with it because it's owned by these people. So I would like to fly out Tuesday, but then Lori says, well, we do that, you know, they're probably going to mess us up. So we'll fly out Monday because Wednesday I have a meeting with Ty and 60 other lecturers at the Truth About Cancer. And then I speak on Saturday at 5 after 5 Central Time. Okay? And then Sunday, we all go back to Ty's house, and then we all have Thanksgiving kind of Christmas dinner. And then Monday morning, I'll fly out and then get here sometime Monday. So even though I'm not here, you are going to be totally taken care of. Okay, my therapists are great. You're going to find out what it's like to really learn the most powerful body work in the world, and I can say that. And I know some of you are already practitioners, you've come with great techniques, but if you've got great techniques now, wait till you do this. Because this is going to allow you to give a money-back guarantee that in the first treatment, you're going to do more than all the other treatments combined. Ron, am I right or wrong? Yes. When I worked on your tumor 2 years ago, yes. Right? What happened when I worked on your tumor?
It went down 20%.
Yeah, in the first treatment.
First treatment.
Yeah.
I watched it. That was amazing.
Yeah. So let's just take a minute before we start with the products. This is not a sales pitch. I need you all to understand something.
And it didn't hurt.
And it didn't hurt.
It didn't hurt.
It's not supposed to. You are going to be the practitioner that you always seeked out to get better. I need you to take that and put it in your heart. You all deserve to have power. And this is the power of loving yourself. Because you wouldn't have found this unless you wanted that. Because most people think I'm out of my mind. They think we're running a cult because it's got to do with love. No. Hey, I want everybody to come because we want unconditional hate. I could probably sell the course out. 500 people would come. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. That's the world you live in because human doings are so programmable. Human beings are people that focus on their spirit and know that there's more. Dana, why don't you come up and tell everybody, do you mind about the abdominal work? And then anybody else, I want you to just share your experiences because I want everybody to understand something. Come this Tuesday, you're going to unleash the most powerful body work. And I can say it. Any practitioners out there that want to challenge me, you come right ahead. I have a doctorate in acupuncture, okay? And I'll tell you right now, acupuncture is great, but I never do it. Because it's the physical and emotional blocks within us. If I can teach you how to unleash the emotional blocks in someone to get them started and get rid of their physical blocks in the first treatment, what do you think will happen? Somebody comes in, I've had this elbow problem for 10 years, and you get rid of it in 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Let me tell you, the world of natural health is so diluted. And you know what? I'm willing to share this with everyone. And you're going to be willing to give it to everyone. Dana, would you like to sit here? You can sit up there if you like. Make yourself comfortable.
Sure. Okay, so first of all, I have been trying to come to this course since 2020. And I felt extremely drawn, like I needed to get here, and I would have swam across the ocean to do it. But I had an appointment with Sage this morning, and I wasn't quite sure what I was going to have done, but I knew I was having bowel problems, probably from what we talked about yesterday. And he worked on my stomach, my intestines, and my liver.
Can I sit right here? Only because I'm the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, what it is, whoa, I'm an attention seeker. Oh, here. Hold on one second here. Here. There you go.
Okay.
Okay? Okay.
That goes throughout the whole hotel, just so you know.
I don't mind.
No. No, she's not going to talk about other things.
Okay, so Sage worked on my abdominal area and my liver. And I know I'm holding a lot, and that's why I've been so blocked. And I haven't been able to go to the bathroom in years, which I feel like I have to go. So if anybody sees me, excuse myself. But anyways, I've never experienced such an emotional release and so powerful in my entire life in the time I was with Sage today. And my body actually had a physical reaction because of the emotion that was coming out. And it was the most powerful thing that I've ever gone through. And I was so grateful and blessed that I was able to have that opportunity to even have that. And I cannot wait to bring it to other people and to help them, because this is what I want. I want to help people release these emotions that we've trapped in our organs and in our bodies for so many years, and people don't understand it, that every physical thing that we have is an emotion.
Yeah, who here wants to be a superhero? There's one right there. Wonder Woman. Okay? Come on, you little troublemaker.
Can't dance too much, don't want to get triggered again.
Here you go. Take the,
Okay.
there you go. Let's talk about yesterday, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, yesterday, I was having a lot of pain in my head, and I realized I was connecting it to having my legs waxed the day before. And the leg waxing was really peaceful and blissful. I was enjoying the whole thing. And this morning I've realized that that was a pattern repeated when I was growing up. So when I was enjoying this 2-hour treatment, she ended up hurting me really bad. And I tried to lay there being real peaceful and breathe through it. And I felt trapped on the table that I couldn't move because a heavy thing on my eyes. There were things all around me, candles, and I didn't feel like I had the ability to move. But I went ahead and breathed and then showed her what to do so it wasn't hurting. But I realized this morning that that's how my life happened, was when I was all alone doing something enjoyable, that's when I'd get hurt. So the pain that I've been having in my face is, a lot of pain from my brother punching me right here. And I was just standing there at the tables, putting plates on, and he just walked up and pow. So I've never felt that pain. I don't remember that I've ever felt that pain. I used to faint a lot when things were painful. So I probably went to my room and fainted when that happened. And I've been aching a lot in my mouth. So I haven't been sleeping for a couple days because the mouth stuff is my father when I was 3. So I've never had the physical work done ever. So having my mouth open for however long with my dad abusing me, I've never worked through that. But now I'm feeling that. So I really want to get rid of the physical. So I was here doing the work. I wasn't connecting any of this. So I was doing the Avicen and really enjoying the peace and quiet. And then when I got up and did a little dance because I was feeling better, then I, boom, went down again. So it's that same thing. And you nailed it. You were right that I wiggled my hips just a little bit, but that was enough for the physical or my program to say, nope, you can't have that.
You can't have the joy.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, we've got to become observers, not judges. When you become judging things, you know what I mean? Come from an observant point of view. Go ahead.
Yeah. So afterwards, I wasn't feeling well, and Daryl could see that I went back down into that painful mode. So he offered after class yesterday to work on my sinuses. But I said, well, right now we don't have to, because he mentioned to come today with a story that was your breaking point. So I instantly thought of one. And then I was sick to my stomach. Thought, oh God, I got to go throw up. So I went to the bathroom and I did the therapeutic vomiting, which I was not going to do it whatsoever. When he mentioned it, I thought, that's not me. So I did it, and it took away a lot of that pain. And I came out and I went home and I did the therapeutic vomiting again at home and went to bed early. And then I did it again at 3. I did that therapeutic vomiting. So the pain keeps kind of coming back. So I've got to figure out how to release
It's a
all this pain.
breakthrough, not a breakdown. She's been working on this for 2 years. She's going to take the root of her dis-ease and put it in the toilet.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy to throw up.
This afternoon, we'll all be doing it together. Down by the seaside.
Yeah. So the last thing I'll leave you all with is, as I move through this, I'll be dancing again. However, the breaking point for me was the abuse I'd had growing up was always in private. So when my dad was doing something, no one else was around. When my brother was mean, nobody else was around. But I just thought it was normal. Every family does this. But the breaking point was one day when I was about 10, and I was outside in the backyard, standing next to the trampoline, and I had been jumping on I loved the tramp. It was such freedom. And there were about 5 guy friends from the neighborhood. So they were all there with me. We were jumping together. And my brother came up behind me. I didn't hear him. He was a lot taller than me. And he said, "What are you doing here?" But I was the one always jumping. He never was around much, but he kicked me. So he straight up right in here. That hurt like hell, but I wasn't going to break down in front of all these friends. But it was the breaking point because now he crossed a barrier to where now I don't feel worthy in front of anybody else either. So I turned around and walked so slow as if nothing hurt at all. So just walking with that pain, went into the house, and then I set up this new pattern for me where I just stand at the window and look outside as I'm crying and crying. Because I can't be there. I can't do that. I'm not wanted. I'm not a part of anything. But I'm breaking all of that. But that was the breaking point, that he did that in front of people for me. So there's a lot of power in this work, and I know I'll get through this. I was thinking maybe if I cried a lot, some of this pain would go away.
Yeah.
It goes away when I do that vomiting, but then it'll come back. But it's less.
No,
It is less.
It's the onion. It's right now she's into the root core that took her life off track.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for every time that you are frustrated, you have anxiety, and you don't have the answer, you feed it.
Yeah. And it happened on that table with her waxing my legs, and all of a sudden I felt I'm trapped, and someone's coming. I was, laying on the bed on my back when, someone would come in and do something to me. So here, like, I didn't expect that. I was really in bliss enjoying the waxing, but I'm grateful that it brought it up. I've never had anything in all the
That
therapies I've
brought
done.
it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen to the words.
Yeah. Before it was doing all the enemas, so I had a happy enema one time where I laid there for a long time because it just kept coming. There's no way I could get up, and so I thought, just let this shit out, let this shit out, and that was great. So now I'm doing this. Now I got to purge. So yeah. See, I feel better.
Yeah, you feel
Yeah.
better now, don't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's powerful
Because
work.
You're in a safety place and share. But what she wasn't, she was sharing her power. Now you've got it. Understand something. The same people that are doing what they're doing right now to the whole world did this to her. They programmed her family to torture themselves and her. Are you going to wake up to this? Take the mask off. Pull back the curtains. Honor, respect, forgive yourself unconditionally right now. Know who the real terrorists are. And understand that which we call God is so magnificent. It's not coming here. It already is here. It's in you. The only reason why she's going to have a beautiful life is she said, I got to get my cape on.
Yep. I'm going to do mirror work before I go sit down.
You do that. Does anybody have anything to share before we get in? Yes, come on up.
Yeah.
Come on up and take the,
You want me to wait to do my mirror work?
what?
Do you want me to wait to do my mirror work?
No, go over and do mirror work over there, okay? Just do it. Yeah, just do it. Okay.
That just triggered me a little. I'm so surprised. I didn't know it was there, but
Bring this up to your, where they
Okay.
can't hear you.
all right.
It's okay.
Okay. I thought about my
This is your
breaking.
time to shine. When you come up here, this is your time to shine. Okay? You tell your warrior story.
I was thinking about my breaking point last night, and I had a few that I could have broken, but there was one event that really did it for me. But just a little brief history. I've told this story in the past because people felt sorry for me, and I needed that, and I don't need that now. So I just tell you that. But I was raised in multiple placements. I was in like 7 different homes at least, and some adoption failed homes. And of course, if you're in the system, you're not protected physically or emotionally or any other way. But
Can you bring your mic up just
sure, yeah. How's that? That better?
Connected to the room.
No, it's okay. You just speak louder, love.
Let's speak louder. Okay.
No, bring the mic up.
Oh, bring it. Do both.
Let me help out here.
Okay.
Because she's very nervous right now
Yeah, I
because
need to
this is the
relax.
first time she's opened up.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can relax.
Okay. All right.
And remember, telling the story is what sets you free. Because we're hiding it, right? Okay?
Yeah.
We're hiding it because they made us feel ashamed. Okay.
So there was a couple of events before I got adopted at age 6. My father sold my sister and I to a man in a bar for $150. And so that wasn't my breaking point. They got us back after a few weeks, and then we were pulled out of the home. But I always teased my sister that she went for 50 and I went for 100, which pissed her off. But then we were adopted, and it was an arranged adoption, and my adoption parents were paid for it. And they were Mormon people in Utah, and I was in the home. I was 6, and my adoptive father raped me, but I forgot about it. But I was also his favorite because he pulled me out. There were 5 girls, and we were all adopted to the same family. So he had pulled me aside and did this, but then I became his favorite, which I learned, don't ever be anybody's favorite. I don't care what they say to you, don't be anybody's favorite, because there's a price to pay for that. But he treated me well, and he took me out on the farm and treated me like a boy, and my sisters had to stay in the house. And my mom was brutal. And I wanted to be a boy. And so she raped me with an enema bottle. But she didn't, so you want to be a boy so bad? I'll teach you what boys do to girls, is what she said. But that didn't break me. I became more determined. Like, I hated that woman, and my hatred kept me alive with her. And I was very defiant, and I didn't take care of that. But the thing that really broke me, I think, is that, I don't want to get graphic, but there was a neighbor named Charlie Brown. And I hated Charlie Brown, the little comedy thing, or what do you call that, cartoon, because he was such a pussy. Sorry.
No, it's
But
okay.
he
It's
wa-
okay. Pussycat.
Pussycat, yeah.
Okay.
But I understood Lucy, right? I understood Lucy because I became a bully. I was a bully at school. And nobody bothered me. I was the kind of kid that would have chicken lice coming down my face, and nobody dared say anything to me because I would have taken care of that. I was a mean, nasty kid, but I was well liked too for some reason. But anyway, Charlie Brown, he's this little neighbor, and he was a hoarder. So his house is like under 1,000 square feet, and when they cleaned it out, it was 6 city dump trucks, so it was just garbage. And so there was a little tiny path, and he had me babysit and stuff. But anyway, he trapped me in the kitchen, and a very violent episode. I won't give you details, but there was a gun involved. And I went home, I'm like, oh my God, and I forgot it. But at that point, I became so depressed. Well, I didn't consider it depression, it was just something. But the event was, I called it the day I couldn't play. The day I couldn't play. So I went out to the barn, because we lived on a farm, and before the barn was my saloon, and the little hay bales were my magic place. And I went there, and the barn was just this soggy, old, run-down crap. And the hay was just soggy old hay, and I couldn't play. I call it the day I couldn't play. And after that, it took me the longest time to remember how to play, or let myself play. So I drove myself almost to death. Well, and the other thing that happened at age 12, right after that, I took my first drink. Took my first drink babysitting. Because in Mormons, nobody has alcohol, except the ones who aren't really involved, the Jack Mormons, they call them. So I took my first drink of alcohol that time, and I'll tell you what, I thought I was in love. That was the first hug I ever had, was alcohol. And of course I had this massive history of having to recover, 8 hospitalizations for detox and 6 rehabs. But I got there. But anyway, I left home when I was 14, and I ended up in a series of other places. But in the end, and I learned a lot, when my mom broke my nose, I learned to defend myself. When my dad did that to me, I learned to love myself better and not let somebody do that to my body as an adult. So I appreciate so much my experience that I had, because it helped me be the person that I am. I'm strong as hell, but apparently I have a little more in there, because what she said just really lifted up. I have a lot of pain in my neck and my shoulder, and I think maybe that's part of what it is. Just a little carrying of the burden. So for me, I want to let that go a little bit. That's my story.
Does anybody have a story about getting worked on? Would you like, come on up.
Can I share a little bit about my dad too?
Please,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
You need to look at
Okay.
it. Guess what? Right now, you are the greatest therapist in the world, because you know where you want to go and you know what you have to do to get there, right? You need to tell your story, and then somehow you got to let everybody off the hook to know that everybody's been set up here. All right? So when do you want to end slavery for yourself? Because on this planet, it will never end. Did you get that? You can only be enslaved in your mind. And once you are the master of your mind, because you have taken control of the whole heart, and the heart rules everything that you do, they can never enslave us again. Okay?
Can you feel the love in the room today? It's overwhelming. So about 4 years ago, my dad was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and I stumbled across Dr. Wolf with The Truth About Cancer. And I was just really drawn to his work, the emotional and the body work. And I said, Dad, we need to go to Canada. And he fought me on it. He didn't want to do conventional therapy, which I totally respected that. And I said, okay, we'll work together. So finally, last February, I connected him with Dean. We live in the US, so it was a 18-hour drive to Georgia. So him and I took a 2-week road trip. And it was the most amazing time. My dad and I had a lot of healing to do, which I'm gonna quick share my story after the bodywork story. But so we spent 2 weeks with Dean. Dean worked on my dad's entire body, and he had such amazing results. We were doing the perfect day as close that we could down there. He lost 20 pounds in those 2 weeks. He looked at least 10 years younger. I mean, my dad looks really great for his age anyway, but he worked on his whole body. He had a hip replaced, a shoulder replaced, And you know, it was painful, but he got feeling back in his toes after the first day, which was amazing because he had been complaining about that, and just really felt great by the time we got back. And two areas that I had worked on, because this was all about my dad, but I said I had a tummy tuck. I need to get this surgical scar worked on. So Dean worked on that for about 5 hours. He said he got it down about 60%. It was painful, and I wasn't having any pain in that area, but what I noticed when I got back, I could hold my urine for longer at night. I was like, wow. So obviously it was choking off my large intestine. I mean, my bladder, probably my large intestine too.
Both of them, yeah.
Yeah, and but what happened when I was in Georgia is we were almost to the point of getting back home. It was the last day. I was having work done, and I got a call from the Mayo Clinic. My mom was in the hospital in intensive care. Long story, I don't want to get into it, but it was the surgeon calling me to say, your mom, we just found out that she had a hysterectomy 20 years ago. And she needs surgery immediately, or we're not going to be able to save her. And we don't even know if we'll be able to save her because she needs a liver transplant, and she needs a lot of help everywhere. And, you have to make this decision. So we knew she wasn't going to want the surgery, and so we let her go. And I got back in time to say goodbye. But he actually said, we believe that the scar tissue is like affecting her large intestine. It's cutting it off, it's choking it off. And right then and there I knew where I was meant to be. So that was pretty crazy. I'm down in Georgia trying to help my dad save his life, and my mom's home losing hers due to the scar tissue issue.
I'm telling you, that's 100%. Surgery causes more scar tissue than anything else in your life. Anybody that's ever had surgery, you have to let us go in there and release it, because that's what's going to kill you or put you in the nursing home. Mm-hmm. Which one do you want? Or make you, where it depends, because the adhesions are going to wrap themselves around the small, large intestine, ovaries, uterus, bladder, prostate. It's always a scar tissue issue. It's nothing else. Or displaced calcium. It's only those two things.
Yeah.
That's the problem with everything. That's why you're the most powerful body workers in the world. And understand, go talk to the chiros, naturopaths, the osteopaths, go talk to the massage therapist, the acupuncturist, and they won't even talk about scar tissue. We are so programmed. These elitists, which are not elite in any shape or form, they're just serpents, okay? They have been strategizing for thousands of years on how to get off on our suffering. They have got into everything: natural health, medical health, your food, your water, your air, your mind, everything. Take a look at everything they do and then tell me there's no God. But God's not coming to save you. Because understand something. The universe is unlimited. You are unlimited. When are you going to take your power back? You know, you said your father, look at all the things that were replaced. Shoulder, how many things?
Hip.
Because guess what needed
Lyme's
to be replaced?
disease.
I need to replace my total self because I'm unworthy. I'm not good enough. I need to have everything replaced. My grandmother believed that if she got rid of an organ or had surgery every 3 years, she'd live forever, and that she would become a new person. Okay? I can remember too, she never felt loved. I didn't know this. We'd be in the house, and I lived there, and all of a sudden she'd faint and fall on the floor. I remember this one time, we were in the kitchen going to the living room, and she fell on the floor, and my grandfather said, just walk over her. Because that's all he did all his life, walk over her. And he did. He made us all, everybody keep going, just step over your grandmother, she'll get up in a few minutes.
Wow.
Go ahead.
So One last thing I wanted to share about the body work was we were in a rush to get home, my dad and I, from Georgia. So we drove from Georgia to Iowa, which was a really long drive, all in one day. And we didn't even stop to eat. We just stopped to get gas or to stretch. And my back did not bother me the entire ride home, which was unbelievable because we took 2 days to get down there. You know, I had a back injury working at a nursing home when I was a teenager. And so like the sciatic nerve had acted up a few times, and I haven't had a problem since, knock on wood. So that was really great. And then my spirit story, I knew as soon as you brought it up yesterday, you were a bad little girl, Sarah. When I was 5 years old, I had about a mile walk to school, and an older girlfriend would stop and pick me up every morning. And she must have been sick that day, but I didn't know better. I was 5 years old. So I would walk up to the corner and walk back to the house, waiting for her. And I remember there was a full moon that morning. And my dad had drug and alcohol problems. He was probably depressed, and he was home, unemployed at the time. And he's like, get in the house. And I got a spanking for that and kept home from school. And I was like, what did I do wrong? I don't understand. And then that same year, my babysitter gave me $5 to go to the ice cream man. And I'm like, oh, yay, I get ice cream. And all the neighborhood kids wanted something. Well, I spent the $5. Wanted to treat everybody else, so I was in big trouble. I got a pretty good spanking that time too, and I was just scared to do anything after that. And I think that's where I just lost myself.
So you give with all your heart, and then you get punished for it. Because her father could never give with all his heart because he never loved himself. You can only give what you are. So that's why you can't hold the anger and the hate for him. Just figure out the game. All our beautiful parents, our neighbors, our friends, our countrymen and women have all been ruled, schooled, and fooled by about 20,000 people. They've just put a chokehold on 7 billion because they strategize. You don't. You don't strategize. You don't strategize. This is why we created what we call, and this is not a commercial, the perfect day. You have to look at what your perfect day is from the moment you rise until you gently close your eyes every day. And what does that look like if you unconditionally loved yourself and you knew that you had to protect yourself from your friends and family because they're not awake yet? How do you protect yourself? You don't let anybody dishonor you again, but it's got to start with you. Yeah.
And I just am so grateful that I spent those 2 weeks with him because I had forgiven him, but I think just getting to really know him on such a deep level.
Here.
Oh, sorry, I thought I was about done.
Don't be
Thought I was about done. And he told me so many stories, and he shared so many things about his life. And I know, and I've shared this with him, that I know you've done the best you could with what you were given, and I forgive you for everything. And I mean, our parents oftentimes have it a lot worse than we ever had it. They try to do better. I think every generation tries to do better, but they get stuck because they don't have unconditional love for themselves.
When are we going to come together? When are we actually going to come together? So Wayne wants to tell his story. Would you like to come up, Wayne? And then what we'll do is we'll get right into the products, okay? All right? Just keeping it warm for you, buddy.
Thank you.
Here you go. Here, I'll do it for you, Wayne. Okay?
I want to thank Robin we've talked already. We share a common history of foster homes, adoption, sexual abuse. So thank you, Robin, for sharing your story. I don't know about the rest of you, but some of the things that Daryl has spoken about, I feel like he's talking directly to me. Let me give you an example. He refers how every day at clockwork, 3:15, whoever's in your life is going to blow up. That was my adoptive mother, to the exact time. Every day at 3:15, I knew she was going to be building up, building up. And then we would have this confrontation. And I knew it was coming. So I pretended that I was an Indian warrior. And I was not going to give her any of my feeling. I was not going to let her know what I was thinking, feeling, or anything. No matter the craziest things that she would tell me. She'd say, you know, you've got arms like a monkey. You know, your arms are really long like a monkey. You know, but I wouldn't let her know. I would be silent. But I would go up to my room, and after 3 or 4 years of this, every day at the same time, I would go up to my room. By this time, I was about 16 years old. And I'd get to my room, and my nervous system could not take it anymore, and I would be just trembling. And then I knew that I have to get out of this home. I have to get out of here, or I'm going to go insane, or I'm going to go crazy, or whatever. And I left when I was 17. My breaking point, about a month after the adoption, I was adopted at 8 years old, and I had 2 nightmares. And the first nightmare was, I was born in Ottawa, Ontario, and there was a bridge that my foster mother and I would walk over several times. And in this nightmare, I was on the bridge, and there was water coming underneath the bridge, and I saw this coffin slowly coming, it was on the water, and it was coming from under the bridge. And I'm looking at this coffin, and then I'm looking at who is in the coffin. I was in the coffin. That was my first nightmare. The second nightmare happened shortly after that. I looked down at my body, and there was a square patch on my arm that was earth. It was brown. And there were worms coming out of that patch. And that's when that was my breaking point, where I died.
And now you're back, or on your way.
The road to heaven is always under construction. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
I'm on my way. Yes.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right. What an imagination that we have, eh? Isn't that something? So just as you can have a nightmare, you can create a beautiful fantasy for yourself, and you got to focus on that. We've all had nightmares, but we got to remember the focus has to be over here now. I think it's important to tell our stories and realize where the breaking point was, and then you've got to let that float down the river. You really do. If you hang on to that story like a badge of honor, it will destroy you, and that's what they want you to do. All you have to do is focus on the beauty of life, and you'll have a beautiful life. And then people say, well, that's not that easy. Well, that's because you've never practiced. or you don't remember the last time you practiced it. You become your story, but you didn't become your story, you become their story. That's why it's called history. When you go to school and you take history, it's all a lie. Because it's his story. There's not one true thing from history. They decide who's going to be the heroes. Every president that was ever in the United States was corrupted or they got a bullet. That's it. You don't get up that high unless you serve them, you die. That's it. So understand that. Serve yourself, no one else, first and foremost, so that you can teach others to serve themselves. It's called self-care, not health-care. It's called self-love, not love, because love is contaminated on this planet. You'll never give it to anyone unless you want something back. You don't believe me? Then why is it 9 months to a year to 2 years into any relationship, you're weighing out to see if you're getting what you've been giving to your partner? And that's why relationships go sideways. At the beginning, you're so hungry that you'll give more than you get. And then after a while, you're trying to see if it's equaling out. Yes or no? I'm right, that's it, I know. That's it. So believe it or not. So if you want to find somebody and you want to find people in your life that will not dishonor you, stop dishonoring yourself. And it's not going to be that easy. So what you do is you spend your time with yourself as much as possible. You spend time working with yourself and people that you admire, people that you need to shoot higher to reach their level. Don't go down. Don't go back. Don't go back to your toxic family because it's Christmas. Because guess what? You won't end up being the gift, and neither will they. All right. Let's get started. We're going to go through the products. How's that? Well, let me see here. Let me just go up through. And as I talk about each product, understand something. I'm not telling you to buy my products. I'm just telling you what I believe. If you can find a better product than mine, then go and get it. Remember something, I want to make this perfectly clear. If you decide that you want to get a website from us and you don't want any of my products, we'll build your website anyway. If you decide you don't want certain products on your website, we won't put them on there. If you want to just have your own products or someone else's products, then you can do that. Understand something. Everything I have is for you to do. You don't have to do or be anything for me. I want you to be you. I want you to find your own happiness. If we build a website for you, you know I do it at cost. I make no money from it. You can have any treatment on there you want. You can have your story on there. You can have this on there, but not this that I taught you. You can have anything you want. I'm here to serve you. You don't owe me anything. People think that they'll go, well, you know, I'm not going to do this. You don't need to tell me. You don't need to tell anybody anymore. You need to create the life that you want and do it in strength. You don't owe me anything. I'm going to love you anyway, 100%. Whether you buy something, do something, doesn't matter. You got to get that. There are no rules between us except one law, unconditional love for yourself and telling me what you want, not what you think I want. Do not look up to me, look at me and tell me how I can service you. Let's make that perfectly clear. Tell me what you want. I would love to da-da-da. I would like to do this. I would like to do that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Speak your voice. Okay? I'm not a mind reader, but I'm intuitive. But I don't read minds. So you have to be honest with yourself. You know, I guarantee you that, you know what? Do not make me an authority. There cannot be anybody that is an authority over you ever again if you want to live your purpose. Nobody can be an authority over you. I am not the authority over you. You have to get rid of that right away. Oh, who's that over there? It's just Daryl. And I mean it. It's very important you do that. Okay? All right. First thing I want to start with, this. I created this product when I was 28 years old. Not me, but with a master herbalist. There's no, and please ask questions, and please challenge me on it. There's no stimulants, there's no laxatives. You can take this every morning and every night for the rest of your life. And if you did, it's the first and foremost thing that you would take. Can't afford anything else, I get it. But maybe in time you'll be able to afford more. You know why you can't afford only this? Because that's all you allow yourself. Remember something, and I'm going to say this one time long and strong. When you start investing into yourself time, energy, and money, you'll be able to afford everything. Only the unworthy have poverty consciousness. And the unworthy is just a belief system. I'm telling you right now, I used to work 14 hours a day. Get up at 5:30 in the morning and drive an hour and a half into work when I was in Toronto because I didn't want my family living in the city. Then I'd get home at 7:30 at night and I was in debt. As soon as I got rid of my unworthiness and knew that I deserved to be a practitioner and I was a good one, all the money problems went away. And then as soon as I broke away from everything I almost learned when I went to college and went to naturopathic college, I threw almost everything away. I kept some of the basic foundation, but I threw most of it away. I made my own. I made my own way. And understand something, there'll become some really, really important things will be invented, but most of it's just rehashed. New and improved. What the heck is that? Most of the time it's not new and improved products. So this one I've had since I was 28. And it's a concentrate, so 2 bags makes a gallon. So now that you're here, you can make it from your coffee maker, and if you don't have one, get one from the hotel. That'll make hot enough water and just make a liter. Because usually you would take 2 bags and you put it into a gallon of hot water. But we don't need all that. If you're by yourself, you would just make a liter. And you could use 2 bags. What would that mean? Well, that would mean that you would add, for every 1 ounce, you would add 3 more ounces. So I made a liter with 2 bags, so it's a concentrate. I'm going to let that sit for 12 hours out on the stove or on the table, wherever you want. After you took the hot water, boiled water, you put the 2 tea bags in, it's only a liter, but usually we'd do it in a gallon, wouldn't we? But we don't have big gallon containers or big fridges. So we're going to put it in a liter. And then, like I said, for every 1 ounce, you're going to add 3 ounces. So I'm going to take 1 ounce, I'm going to add 3 more ounces of water, right? And if you're taking 4 ounces a day, which might be okay for you, but most time people need 8 ounces twice a day. And understand something, people don't get this, but daily cleansing of the colon is the most important thing you'll ever do because it's the holy grail. 85% of your immune system is in your bacteria, not in your colon. It's in your bacteria. The bacteria are what give you your immune system. They communicate. And when they become toxic, they get drunk. How do you speak when you're drunk? How do you communicate when you're drunk? You're not yourself. Well, they're not their self. They become toxic. So they turn. And when you've got bad bacteria, you get bad moods. I don't know why he said that. I don't know why I'm like that. I don't know why I'm depressed. Because the bacteria, they rule you. They're more intelligent than your brain, trust me. So we're trying to kill bacteria. Meanwhile, that's what we're mainly made out of. We're walking, talking globs of bacteria. So you better bless your bacteria. So daily cleansing tea, for people who would usually take it, like your patients or clients, you know, you're going to start them off with, they're going to get 2 tea bags, boil a gallon of water. If it can be structured, that would be great. If it isn't, I get it. They're going to boil the water. As soon as the water boils, turn off the burner, put 2 tea bags in the pot, let it sit on the burner, with the burner off on the stove, let it sit there for about 8 to 12 hours, doesn't matter. Longer the better. leave the tea bags in with the gallon, put it in the fridge. They'll start off with 4 ounces twice a day for the first 3 days. Then they'll go to 8 ounces twice a day. Understand, for somebody who says they have a healthy colon, it takes 9 months to actually make it healthy. They don't have a healthy colon. They have a healthy colon compared to everybody else. 9 months. Even after the 9 months, you'll be taking less tea, except when you fall off your diet. When you're doing a whole plant-based diet and you're doing this tea, you might take the tea just what? 4 ounces to 6 ounces to 8 ounces once a day. You don't need it twice a day. But the reality is this tea is not a stimulant or laxative. It works on the lymph system, the blood, the kidneys, the lungs, and the liver and the colon. It works on all of them. So it helps them all just gently. So it's not a laxative. It's not a stimulant. So you got to get that. That's why you never become addicted to it. It's like me saying, I don't want to eat salad all day, every day. What if I get addicted to it? Okay, so this is more like a food herbal medicine. This is not a stimulant. Now, what you're going to tell your patients is this. When you first start taking the tea, because guess what? Tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. 95% to 98% of all practitioners say, come and see me every 3 months or 6 months and we'll do a cleanse. What they're saying is, when you really start to feel crappy, come and see me. That's the way the medical system works. Why would I let any of my patients feel crappy? Why don't I give them the perfect day and let them do gentle baby steps that they never feel crappy again? Why don't we just let people feel beautiful every day? So when you feel crappy, come and see me and we'll do a deep cleanse. And then when you go to do a deep cleanse on these people, just remember something. They're coming to you. When you feel crappy, do you have energy or do you feel exhausted? So now they're exhausted and you're going to do a deep cleanse on them. What's going to happen if you could do a deep cleanse on them and they're exhausted and their organs are tired? Then guess what? You're going to stir up all those toxins. They're going to have all these symptoms and go, I feel like crap while I'm going through the detox. Then they're going to start to feel better. And then they're going to go, you know what? After a few days, I felt amazing on that cleanse. Why did you stop? You see how programmed you are? Because suffering is the way on this planet. Because we've been programmed that way. Why should you suffer anymore on an emotional or physical level? Why don't you just gently love yourself and cleanse yourself and take care of yourself? Because nobody else is going to. Oh, go home. We'll keep an eye on it for you. What? The doctor lives under the bed or in the closet or behind the toilet. Where does he live? They're not going to keep an eye on it. When it's bad enough, they're going to cut it out or use a stronger poison. That's the bottom line. And we know this. And I'm not tearing them down. That's their program. Isn't it kind of funny how people keep going and they'll send their families, but it didn't work for them, but it didn't work for other friends, but they'll keep sending them in there. What do you think, it's going to change? So the reality is there's only one practitioner in your life, and it's got to be you teaching your patients, your clients. Because, and some of you, I know you're not here to become practitioners. You're here because you want to become the practitioner for your family and yourself. I get it. But I can't keep on going to everybody's situation here. So understand, you are learning how to care and look after yourself so you can teach others. If you don't know how to love and care for yourself, then you're not teaching anybody anything that's useful. So we are not out to what? Treat people. We will treat them because they come to us to be treated because they don't understand that they need to get trained. If you teach your clients and patients to go from treatment to treatment, then they're only good till the next treatment. I mean, everybody can't wait for the next treatment, but then it gets monotonous. That's not giving and empowering anyone. Let me tell you. Do you know what the biggest problem I have with practitioners? They're worried that if they teach their patients what they know, they won't come back. 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease. Everybody in here has some kind of physical, emotional problem. And you're going to be practitioners. The people that don't even want to be practitioners, they're in a mess. 3 out of 4 children, okay, are suffering from some type of allergy right now. 80% of the population is overweight. 40% of the population is obese. Half the population is going to die of cancer, or at least get it and then maybe turn it around. 55% of the population is going to have heart disease. There's only 2 of them. What about all the diabetes coming? Let me tell you something. You need to not treat people, train them. When you leave here, you think about that. And that's why they're going to come to you for personal treatment and trainings, and they're going to come to you for 7 days. 5 days to 10 days, actually, depending on if it's a pain-free pregnancy or if it's a personal treatment and training or if it's a couple's emotional treatment and training. They're going to come to you because people are fed up. And if they're not fed up, they're going to be fed up because they've been fed up to here with bullshit. And they're not going to take it anymore. So they're going to come to you, and this is what you're going to sell. Would you rather see 40 people, 20 to 40 people in a week, which you'll be seeing lots of people working on them? Or would you like to see a couple of people that come to you and they pay you well, and when they leave, they're their own practitioners? When she turns over and ready to, oh my God, my back, he's there. Don't worry, honey. Hero's right in bed. And he goes in there and he just unties the knot and she goes, you're my hero. And that's what love is about. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to create a whole new system. All right? They're going to know what to eat, what to drink, how to think. We're not going to tell them how to think, how to eat. We're going to tell them what is the highest vibration that we could find, and they're in relationships, what they put in their mouth, what comes out of their mouth, what comes out of their rectum. Because what comes out of you, okay, is what? The most important printout on your health is your bowel movement every day. And parents don't even know what a good bowel movement is for the kids. Parents don't even know that when their child has a fever, that if they were to actually give them a warm water enema, the fever would be gone in 10 minutes. No, let's rush them off to the hospital, freak out, scare the child, you're dying, right? The worst thing that ever happened to us was the invention of the medical system. Now, if the medical system could learn its place, they would only be involved in 2 to 5% of all health care. That's it. It's just emergencies. And they create the other 95. So understand that. Now we're going to put that away because people are going to go, wow, he's always battering on them. Well, I don't know. Take a look at the family. No. So we are going to train people, not treat them. We're going to treat them, but we're going to focus on the training. And guess what? They come in for a treatment and they go, this is amazing. Well, how would you like to bring your family in? And we'll take 5 days to 10 days. And we'll teach your family how to love, respect, and honor themselves on an emotional, physical, and with diet and everything. When you leave here, you're walking away with this. No more do you have to be fearful, be scared, and watch your child crying in pain, watching your wife suffering, watching your husband just grumbling. It's over. That's the power you're going to have when you do the New World Practitioner course. So the first thing we got to do is lighten the load, right? Get the cork out, right? Everybody thinks they have good bowel movements, but guess what? They don't. They don't. Because it's all about pooping into your pelvis. It's all about pooping into your body. Because how could you have infected blood on a physical level unless you weren't pooping into your body? Now, if you're a terrorist and you're totally terrorizing yourself on a continual level, you're dumping adrenaline, cortisol, and histamine into your body, then you're going to have pH problems. You're going to have calcium problems. You're going to have oxygen problems. You're going to have mineral problems because they're all going to be burnt up from the fire that you're creating by terrorizing yourself or letting someone terrorize you and you don't even know it because you think it's normal. So the first thing we can always do, I mean, how many people here like a really good poop? Okay, not many, just about 10. So the rest of you like sitting there going, oh my God, the bus is going to be leaving. Gold nugget, come on out. Where do hemorrhoids come from? That. Okay, where does hiatal hernia come from? Not from moving the couch for your wife. Stop blaming her. They come from this. When you go onto the toilet and you go, you're using your diaphragm to push down, and guess what? Your stomach pops up through the diaphragmatic hole, and now you've got a hiatal hernia. That's where it came from. All right? Okay? All because you couldn't give a Watch your mouth. This is a family show. Okay. Shit. She said shit. You said say it again. You. Poo you. Who poo? What?
You're pushing down on the diaphragm and then.
Okay, here. Your diaphragm's right here.
Right.
So when you go, you're pushing your diaphragm down, okay, to try to push it out of your rectum, right? And that's why you've got internal hemorrhoids.
Right.
Yeah, and you get internal hemorrhoids because you're constipated. How many people here know that rectal cancer is now starting to take the headway for everything? You know why? Because we're rotten to the core. First we have root rot, our large intestine's dysfunctional, then we poop in our pelvis, and then we're rotten to the core. And that's why there's so many surgeries here, and guess what? You don't have breast cancer unless you were pooping in your pelvis. And you had emotional problems sexually as well. See, everything's kind of all mixed up. I teach all of this. It's in the library. It's all there. If you did 2 hours of homework every day for 6 to 9 months, you'll kick everybody's butt out there in the practitioner world. And it's not because I'm intelligent, it's because I stole every intelligent person's work and then I made it mine. And now you're going to take my work because I'm going to give it to you and I want you to make it yours. Oh my gosh, Daryl, she wrote a booklet that sounds just like you and only her name's on it. Good for her. We don't live long enough. Take everything that I have and make it yours, put your name on it and be proud of it. If you believe in it, then go for it. Would you like to take 40 years like me, or would you like to take 4 weeks? Let's get there right now. Take everything I have, I give it to you.
So when they push down on the diaphragm, then it's pushing on your large intestine, which is creating the hernia, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, when you, okay. So,
Pushing down.
here's the diaphragmatic hole.
Right.
Here's the diaphragm. So right here below is the stomach.
Right.
If I push down on the diaphragm long enough, a piece of the stomach okay, a piece of the stomach pops up through the diaphragmatic hole. Now, guess what? Anybody here with a hiatal hernia? Who? Both of you? Guess what? 5 minutes. That's how long it takes me to reverse it.
You push the stomach down.
I don't push the stomach down.
I didn't push it down.
No, I just go one. First I go in and I go, I love you, all around. Oh, thank you. That feels so nice. Boom, gotcha. You want to hear a story? You want to hear a story?
Yes. So it pushes the stomach down.
No, I pulled it down.
No, I know, but you pull this, when the person
No, the stomach goes up.
I'm trying to tell the people.
The diaphragm goes down and the stomach pops up.
Okay, and then you have your,
You know, it's like that little, the game thing at the circus. Boop, right, boop.
then you have your hernia.
Then you got your hernia. So now it can't get back down. And the longer it stays, due to the inflammation, you get scar tissue formation, so now it's locked. Okay, I got to tell you a story. So, well, I don't have to, but do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
It's a fun story, but it was a dangerous one. Okay? Kinda. Okay? All right. So I was down in Texas, and I was down there to do a big conference. So I went in to get my hair cut, and I went into this mall, and I went into a barber shop. Okay? And how do I say it now? I don't even know how to say it anymore. What do you say about, I don't even know what to call black people anymore. I can't keep up with it. Okay, African American, that was it. My apologies out there, guys. So anyways, I go in there and I thought, yeah, I'll get a good haircut here. So there's this guy, he's big, right? And he's talking to me and he's going, ah. And he's cutting my hair and he's going like this, and I go, wow, you got a hiatal hernia? Yeah, how'd you know? Well, I didn't think you were trying to shine up your chest. So anyways, I said, wow. I said, what's wrong? And he goes, wow, I'm married to a little Vietnamese woman and she terrorizes me. And I go, well, actually, she might be terrorizing you, but it's because you've been constipated for so long and you pushed down for so long that your stomach popped up. Wow, I've always had bowel problems. And I said, yeah, we all have women problems, but it doesn't give us hiatal hernias, okay? No, I'm kidding. You women. Okay, so anyways, I said, look, I can fix that for you. So anyways, we went into the back room. There was no place for him to lay down, so he laid down on the floor. And I said, look, this is going to hurt, but it's going to feel so much relief. So I went in and I loosened up around the hernia, and then I went, on 3, I'm going to do it, right? So 1, 2, 3, I did it, and he screamed so loud, and it was a white guy who went into the back room. Well, guess what? All of them came, and they grabbed me, and they put me up against the wall, and he's going, no, don't hurt him, don't hurt him. And he goes, oh my God, thank you, it's gone. But I thought it was done. So do not release a hiatal hernia, okay, if you're a white guy. Okay, all right? That's a true story. So anyways, I just want to tell you that you're all going to be able to do this. Hiatal hernias are easy. Then inguinal hernia is caused because you didn't daily cleanse. Because an inguinal hernia is where you're pooping in your pelvis, you rotted out the peritoneal lining, and your intestines are popping out. Oh, honey, your colon's hanging out of your gut. You rotted your colon out. It was all about rot. You are actually decomposing. You're rotting. Isn't that cool? Go down there and smell right around there, and you will smell rotten tissue and poop. Wow. There's a clue there somewhere, okay? So anyways, another story, true story. Go look at Yan, okay? His name is, not Yan, Tom. Go look, Yan's his wife. Go look at Tom, okay? And hiatal hernia. This is true. So it's the size of a probably a small orange. And that was his intestine hanging out of his gut. So he is in his bed. They're coming to take him up to surgery. And his wife, she's so sweet. Can I just kind of pretend I'm her? Yeah. And even if she sees this, she just, we love each other to death. Daryl, you can talk to my husband right now. You tell him. They're coming for him in surgery, and tell him he's doing the wrong thing. And then, Dr. Wolf, yes? They're coming for me. What do I do? Do I go to surgery? Okay, or what do I do? I go, look you can calm down if you want, and this will heal, but you're going to have to be patient, and you're going to have to listen to me. Okay, I will do it because you don't know my wife. I said, yes, I do. This is true story. I mean, his wife's beautiful, seriously. She's a hero, right? So anyways, are you ready for this? 6 months later, or right now even, guess what? It's smaller than this. That's it. And he says, well, will that go away? I said, no, that's to remind you to stop rotting yourself out on an emotional and physical level. And so guess what? These people believe in me so much that they actually gave me $75,000 because they want to buy a Cellsonic and heal people. And they are not rich. They just have big hearts. And think about it. He was only minutes, guys, I'm serious. They were coming to take him up. And he got out of that bed and he walked home. Now, what do you think that did for his family and his friends? First of all, you're nuts because your intestines hanging out, you could die, and then he proved to all of them that he could thrive. A story is only a story until you rewrite it. So, daily cleansing tea, I've never come off of it.
So would that help, would that help all the gallbladder, the gallbladder issues, all the surgeries?
What do you mean the surgery? What, you said gallbladder issues.
The gallbladder, and there's so many
Well, gallbladder, one second. The gallbladder is a storage for anger. Okay. Angry people have gallbladder problems. Now, you're going to say that's not true. It's from diet. And I'll tell you that there's other people that have your diet that have no gallbladder problems. Because you can't digest the anger, but you shouldn't have taken it in anyway. Okay? So, emotional becomes physical, and gallbladder issues mean you have gallstones, and gallstones mean you have high cholesterol, which means you're a stress monkey. We all make cholesterol. If we didn't, we wouldn't be alive. Cholesterol is one of the most important hormones in the body.
Yeah, it can be high too, right? So you're healthy.
No,
Okay.
no, you just made that up.
Well, I'm like,
No, you made that up. So hold on a second. It can't be high when you're healthy. It's going to be high when you're a terrorist. Because why? Because so here, what's a gallstone made from? Calcium and cholesterol. That's a gallstone. Whoop-de-doo-dah-day. Now, where did you get the extra cholesterol and the calcium from? Well, the calcium came from close to the liver because you had to buffer something down to not have cancer. The calcium was pulled from the bones to stop the cancer. The calcium was in the blood, but eventually it goes to the liver. It also goes into the blood because if you terrorize yourself, you'll put cortisol, histamine, and adrenaline into your blood. You will die or at least go into a coma if you don't pull the bone calcium into the blood. So when it gets into the blood, it eventually goes to the liver. So then the liver can't process it, gets caught in there, but then it dumps it into the what? Gallbladder. Into the gallbladder. But because when you are a real terrorist, you get high cholesterol because cholesterol is like candle wax and it goes into your arteries to goop up the cracks in your arteries so you don't blow out. So when you no longer are terrorizing yourself, then you no longer need the high cholesterol. So every time you go to get your cholesterol checked and it's high, what do? You stress out. The stressing creates more cholesterol. Stop getting tests. My God, if you could just find peace. That's a gallstone.
love it. Thank you.
Okay? Yes?
They want to know if lunch is noon or
One.
one.
Okay, one all the time. One for fun. Get it done, hun. Put mine on a bun. Gluten-free. I don't care how serious your life is. Make people laugh. Create fun wherever you go. Leave smiles wherever you go. You don't go into a room ever again unless you leave smiles. Well, that would be faking it. Then do it. No, I just want to leave depression and sadness and anger and gallstones. God, look, she's been here. Why? Look at, follow the gallstones. How are we doing? Okay? Anyways, people can go and take a look at this. Is there any questions on it before we move on? Yeah?
Empty stomach or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. You can put it in your soup. If you're oh, I don't need any cleansing. Put it in his soup. Put it in his blender drink. What?
Can you repeat the question?
Okay. Okay, what? What was it again? Oh yeah. Do you have to take it on an empty stomach? You can take it on a full stomach before a meal, after a meal, in your soup. Okay? But don't mix it with your poop. No. You can put it in a blender drink. Doesn't matter what you do, it works. Okay? But it's always better to take it on an empty stomach. Everything always is. You have better absorption, right? And that's the scoop on poop. Okay? When I travel, I'll take the daily cleansing tea caps. They're not like this. The daily cleansing tea, it does full body cleansing. That's the difference. You know, what did you have to do? Well, I had to boil the water. Then what'd you have to do? I had to put the 2 tea bags in. Then what'd you do? Well, I had to sit by the stove and wait for 12 hours until it was done. Then what'd you have to do? Well, I had to put the lid on right after I put the tea bags in. And then I had to put it in the fridge. And then it got cool. And then I could drink it. Wow. What?
Yeah, it took a week to drink your tea.
Why?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah, right. No.
How many you drink?
Pardon?
How many? Not the one you boil, not the other.
Oh, the daily cleansing tea caps when you travel? Well, okay. I never take the capsules unless I'm traveling. Now, if you don't want to take the tea, don't take the tea. But the caps work on the colon. The tea works on all your detox systems, and it's not a laxative. There's a total difference here. There's no laxative in the caps, but when I travel, okay, Well, first of all, I'll take a daily cleansing tea as soon as I head to the airport. And then what do? When I get there that night, okay, I will take, depending on how I feel and how well I could eat, I'll take 1 to 2 caps. If I didn't go good the next morning, I might take 2 more caps. So depending on what I'm holding on to emotionally, and I never eat plain food. And when I'm there, for every hour, I try to drink 1 quart of water. So think about that. And you're gonna go 5 quarts of water for a 5, yeah, that's what I try to do. And I try to bribe them to give me water, because 10,000 feet up, they're going, no, water's short here, man. You know, can't have that. You can have a little glass. So what we do is I'll fill up 1.5 liters after we get through customs, right? Or through after the luggage check and everything like that. We'll fill them up with structured water. Then we'll put the black diamond in. Then I'll put some super cinnamon in, right? Because it fights infection. And then I'll drink that all the way. So when I get there, I have no jet lag because of the black diamond and because of the super cinnamon and the structured water. Jet lag is actually EMF poisoning and dehydration. That's all it is. Wow, it took me 3 days to come back. I bet it did. You ate the food on the plane, you didn't drink, you might even had alcohol, you didn't hydrate before you went, and you didn't take anything to keep your poop moving. You know what? It's a computer printout every day, right? Okay? So I know yesterday that I didn't eat good because this morning it was sticky like paste. But you know, we're so oblivious to what it is. And everybody's manual, and also people who get the Perfect Day consult, remember something, guys. You're going to get a PDF from us that has the Perfect Day, not like a practitioner manual, but a patient manual. But you're going to be giving all of your patients free when they get a consult from you. You're going to give them a book that's worth more than $150. Excellent. The book that they're getting, they can actually assess themselves and follow along and see that you were right. They're getting a manual like nobody's ever gotten before. So you all have this. You should be doing consultations as soon as you finish this class, because you're better than everybody out there, because you are teaching them to be their own practitioners, and you are teaching them about the basics of life. How many practitioners teach people that your bowel movements are computer printout and they need to watch that? How many people are talking to people and talking about vibration and frequency and what it's really all about? I know, but you've got to look like you do. You got to look like the product you're selling. You're selling health, for God's sakes, and you can get away with it. You can be underweight and dying, or you can be overweight, obese, and you can still have a business, but you haven't learned nothing yet about love for yourself and caring for yourself. I mean, you know, when you come to me, I'm walking the talk. I didn't do it for money. I didn't do it for you. I did it because I didn't want to be a slave anymore. The only time you will not be a slave on this planet is when you unconditionally care for yourself. You will always be a slave. Okay, so anyways, the daily cleansing tea caps. Let me see if I can show you them. I think they fell on the floor.
You already showed us.
What? They're under my chair? Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's them. So we wanted to put a product together. It wasn't a laxative. Dr. Schultz, laxative. They're all laxatives. Senna, okay. Senna's one of them. Cascara sagrada, another one. These are all they're the laxatives of herbs, and they're gonna tear your bowel apart. Okay, just know that.
How about oxy powder or mango 7?
Oxy powder will work and it won't work. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. I used to sell it, okay? Yeah, I used to sell it. It doesn't work like the daily cleansing tea. And it doesn't. And I will never put the stuff down, it just doesn't work.
I mean, it does. It only works on the colon, not the whole.
No, I know that. But I'm saying it also doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work and sometimes it does work. This here, you can regulate You can regulate yourself. After taking this for 6 weeks to 3 months, you know how much tea you need. You know how much tea you don't need. And as you emotionally lighten the load, you need less tea. Okay? And then there'll be some of you that will take some of the, start with the tea and you'll go, wow, my stool is loose. That's because you have so much infection inside of you. It was ready to blow anyways. So you're going to back off. And then you just need a little bit to get going because you have so much infection. And once that lowers, you'll increase your tea. You'll go, well, it's not working anymore. Well, that's because you got to increase it. We only needed a little bit of tea because the cork was ready to pop out of the champagne bottle anyways. Right? I know I'm right. Okay? When I was 27 years old, I opened up the North American Institute for the Advancement of Colon Therapy. If I can dig it out, I'll bring it to you and I'll show you. I wrote the first colon therapy training manual in North America, the most efficient one. We're going to teach you, like how, you know, Dana, you had the work done on your abdomen. Colon therapists don't do that. Colon therapy can save a life, but most colon therapists are dangerous. Okay? Yeah, come to me every second week and I'll give you or come to me every week and we'll have a 30 to 60 foot bowel movement. Like that's healthy. No, it's not. Colon therapy should be used in emergency cases. Your bowel should be working on its own. So why did I close my school? Because of that. Because it was creating lazy people and it was creating lazy practitioners. Now, is colon therapy bad for you? No, not if it's in the right hands. Go to a colon therapist association meeting and you'll find out most of them are unwell. And that's the God's truth. I spoke there 1 year. Second year I went to speak. I told the truth. I'll never be allowed back. Okay, let's keep going. Next thing I'm going to talk about is this, black diamonds. We just released it. Just know this, there is one other person that has a nano powder like this, humic fulvic like this, but it's not like this. We're the only one that has no heavy metals in it. And the molecular size of ours is smaller than the other one that's out there. There's nothing like this. You put this in water, don't stir it. It stirs itself. The energy in this is like nothing else. This crosses the blood-brain barrier. It goes everywhere in the human body. So we know that it delivers 60 to 70 nutrients, but we also know that it will take 3 times its weight in heavy metals and viral, bacterial, fungal, okay, chemical. And it locks it down so you don't have to suffer on the way out. And that's why humic fulvic is so brilliant. There's nothing like it on the planet. People are talking about zeolite, but zeolite can't even come close to this. I was carrying zeolite back 30 years ago, and it's good. It's a great product, but zeolite, and you can continually use it, but it doesn't work like this. Because in this, you've got nutrients that are millions of years old. This is the plant life that dinosaurs ate. When the oxygen was high, the mineral content, the vibrancy in life was so high before man decided to really come in and do his thing. So, you know, you with this, you can detoxify and bring the nutrition in better than any other product that I know of. You can do your research on it if you want. Any questions before I move on with it?
What's inside of it exactly?
It's a very fine powder. You'll all have it. I thought that it's in the second container. I thought it was in the first container. So I've DHL'd 20 pounds, right? So, and I'm not scared to say it, but 20 pounds is $30,000. It's the diamond of nutritional hydration and detoxification of the human body. It doesn't get better.
So how much does one take?
Very small amount. 1/8 of a teaspoon is enough a day. If you're into a detox, you could do 1/8 of a teaspoon 3 times, 4 times a day. Okay? And you know, the reality is this. Never go by what's on the bottle. That's why you're going to do consultations for people for whatever price you want. We do them for $150, which is beyond cheap. But we want to teach people that they need to take their life back. So with giving them a $150 consultation, they get the audio, they get the perfect day guide. Then what we do, okay, is then we give them lifetime support. And I already talked about this to you guys. You know what? Right now, we've got probably close to around 50,000 people that have been consulted by us. And we can handle it all. Why? Because when you go through your, did you see your perfect day manual? You see how it's laid out? Pretty difficult to follow, eh? Right. It's been rewritten probably 50 to 100 times. I don't even know anymore. But every 3 months we redo the book. Not the whole thing, but we tweak it, tweak it, tweak it, tweak it, tweak it. Because we're all striving for perfection, and you'll be doing it for the rest of your life. So when they have the manual, they can call us about anything. And you're going to find out something. You're going to get a lot of calls. People want their lives back. So allow them to call you. Be patient with them. Breathe. And you're not going to be patient because you were taught to have impatience. And you were taught medical care, not health care. So medical care is take a pill and shut the hell up. Because the pill was to shut you the hell up. So please, find patience for people. You know, people always say to me, how do you even do this? How do you stay on the phone with these people? Well, because I was those people. Those are my people. Understand something. Learning body talk is the most important thing that you can teach someone, and that's a new language. For God's sakes, be patient with them. Okay.
Can I ask you how the blood diamond tests? Because I never got that one. Is it like weaker? Is it good?
Is it what?
Yes, how it tastes.
How it tastes? It enhances the taste of everything you put it in. You can put it in your coffee. You could put it, it's in your water. You could put it in your juice. It enhances everything. There's no taste. It enhances the taste. Okay? That's why, I'll move on to this. Black gold. See, black diamond, we'll get through this. What time is it? 11:20. Today we'll get the products done, and guess what? We'll be right on track, okay? And then, anyways. So black diamond is for the bloodstream, it's for the brain, it's for every organ, it goes everywhere. It crosses the blood-brain barrier. So the reality is, how much do I take? Well, you could take one little stick once a day. And so we came out with the sticks first. You know, you just open them and that's it. But we're coming out with a jar too, a 1 ounce jar. You need very little. Let me tell you, anybody that's been taking the black diamond, if they've ran out and they've been here, because I said I had it, but it's in the second container, what do they say? Romana, where are you?
Yeah.
What'd you find about the black diamond? Can you tell everyone? Can you come here? Here. Just take this. This is not a sales pitch, but here. Can you put your hand up my shirt? No, I'm kidding. There you go, sweetie.
I took the black diamond, I think I was doing one in the morning and one at night.
Yeah. See, everybody's different.
And it was just a bounce of energy. And because I haven't had it for the last week or so, I'm like, golly, I wish I had that black diamond. So I'm really looking forward to getting some more. No, it gave me so much energy, and also the brain.
It'll be here on Thursday.
The
Yeah,
clarity. Like, again, I'm not 100% there at the moment because the difference was phenomenal. No, not was, is phenomenal. Amazing stuff. And there is no flavour. It just amazing.
On the skin,
What do you mean for the skin?
on the skin for skin rashes and stuff.
We'll get to that.
But
No,
it
you're not going to do that.
worked inside anyway.
you're not going to do that. You're going to take it internally to get rid of the skin rashes. Remember something, what got under your skin? That's the emotional part. And then with the rashes, you don't have a skin rash unless your bacteria, your good bacteria, are dysfunctional.
That's right.
That's what a skin rash is. No, it's an allergy. No, it's not. There are no allergies. There's the inability to break down a toxin in the body. Did you get that? There's things that are just poisons. And then there's, I'm allergic to this, I'm allergic to that. No, you're not. You're allergic to life. On an emotional level, you're way too allergic to everything. Oh my, it's called victimization, okay?
I used to have so many rashes and so many allergies and so many everything. And doing the protocols from Daryl has healed my gut. Remember, 85% of our immune system is our little bacterias in here. I've never been this healthy in my entire life, and I'm improving every day. But be patient. It's not going to happen overnight.
Okay. Oh, black gold. Okay, so everybody goes, well, if I take the, black gold is for your digestive tract. It does not go into your bloodstream, into the organs, cross the blood-brain barrier. Black gold goes in and it remediates the digestive tract, picking up heavy metals, toxins. It delivers nutrients. It absolutely does. Okay, but its job is not that. And at the end of the line, which is your large intestine, it's foundational for mummy's bacteria. Because I already told you yesterday, it's only mummy's bacteria that matters. Nobody else's that they manufactured. Other manufactured bacteria can help to calm things down, but it'll never restore you. And everybody always has a little bit of mommy's left. One of mommy's bacteria, you can turn it into trillions if you do the right thing and get on a perfect day. And I'm not telling you to get on my perfect day. If you can find someone else's perfect day that's better than mine, then just do it. Okay? But this you can mix with your coffee. Like if you coffee grinds, you put just a teaspoon, I put a tablespoon on top of the coffee and I let the water come through. Okay? You can mix this with your blender drinks, okay? You can mix it with your soups. The Hutterites, we taught a lot of colonies in Canada how to do the non-surgical. So they want to be on their own. They want to know how to look after each other. So we taught a lot of colonies, and they will.
What are Hutterites?
Huh? It's a group of people. It's just another group of people, okay? And the Hutterite colonies, they do everything for themselves. They don't count on any systems. It's like similar, I don't want to say they're like Mennonites, but they're Hutterites, okay? And then there's Russian groups as well. And they've just learned, because of communism, when they come to this country, they don't trust a lot of people. Yeah, Violet, stand up. Violet's from a Russian community. You want to come and talk about that? So what's your community like? So I just want to, yeah. So anyways, guess what? The weirdos, okay, that are on their own and doing their own thing, okay, just remember, they're not attached to the system. Come on.
Yeah, my name is Violet, and I come from an amazing community, and I've been with Daryl for almost 3 years. And yeah, we live similar like Hutterites, but we're more of having our own kitchens in every house. And we live like a big family.
So they escaped, the first part of the group escaped from where?
Well, we had a persecuted church in Russia. And the first group, I think, left in year 87.
And guess what? Ready for this? They lived in the woods in northern Canada, hiding out because they didn't have Canadian citizenship.
The first group actually that came to Canada.
And the Native Indians saved their butt. They came to help them because they were in the woods.
Yeah, our land borders the natives' land.
Yeah.
And the first group actually came year 92 from Germany. My parents immigrated year 96 And yeah, I lived 25 years in Canada. The life we live, like I always loved my life, but at some reason, Daryl stepped into my life. And I worked on my family in the community being a therapist almost 3 years ago. And when I decided to come do my second one, it's like I couldn't live my life. And
Can I say something? Just so you understand. She did the first one, that's safety. She came for the second one, that scared the community. Go ahead, love.
yeah, and it's like I ran off for my second one because I could see like I had no other option even working on the farm because I was so done because I knew all the emotional because I was working obviously on the community and I saw, and I was a person, I wasn't allowed to speak up and I had to learn everything almost by myself.
Because you were a woman, Violet, or why couldn't you?
Yes, the men control, and I wasn't allowed to speak up, but I had to be the leader, work everywhere, and everyone wanted my help, my work, because I was so responsible for everything, and I did it way better than they expected me. So when the biggest thing when they just shut me down was they put me the head teacher in our school, and it was the first year of the whole entire being in Canada that I was the head teacher in our school. And it came when we had to decide when we will have Christmas vacations in our school. So all the girls, I'm the head, they came up to me, well, everyone's afraid to speak and they know that I will just go for it. Speaking in Russian, I can feel that I have power, like even coming back from my third course. After second one, I was quiet because I wanted to go to the third, so nobody realizes that I plan to go on the third one. And when I came back, I could feel the power and I could see like the men were so afraid of me. And I said, I need you guys to get together, I need to speak, and they were afraid of doing it. And I said, there's a due date where if you won't get together and have me speak with you, I'm done. So going even to the fourth, like Daryl asked me to come help the fourth class on June, I just went against everything, like even against my dad, because like I could see like my dad was not even in his own control, like he wouldn't be able even to help me out because he was so controlled. And the school just ended, and I said, well, I don't have a job on the farm, I need to work. And he says, well, go teach school. And I know obviously they wanted me back in school. And when I was the head teacher, so the teachers, the girls told me whatever I should say. So I kept talking, like in the parents-teachers meeting. And when I could see like they were just getting so like aggressive or something the way I spoke and the way I wanted it, and this guy told me, well, Violet, now you can shut up and let other teachers speak. And I just said, well, I told everything, they got nothing to say, and this is where I could feel like I'm not speaking anymore. And I said, enough is enough. I finished to teach the school year because of the love of my siblings. I wanted my siblings to finish school good, and it was like my last brother, his last school year, my youngest brother, and I just stood up for myself. And it was like 1 year before I met Daryl. And yeah, living on the farm, I really enjoyed my life. And actually doing my second course was because I got into so much health. I really did not research for health because my mom was a medical nurse and she said, well, medical is advanced, it's way faster, but I always knew nature cures. So after meeting Daryl, like it took me like almost 21 months until I did the second course. So during 21 months, I was like researching, going into like nature, and before that, I got into chaga mushroom, if you have heard of it. So I cured myself, like I had really bad coughs, and my mom said nothing would cure you except antibiotics, and I was against all these pharmacy drugs. So I got into because we live in a place of nature. It's like maybe like 10 years ago only we had our home phone. We had a phone on the farm, like for the office, but not in every house. Now we got in every house, plus everyone has a cell phone, right? I grew up, I'd say, in a clean environment. And being a gardener, I started, doing all those researches. I would go out into nature, get some flowers, berries, and really making my second course was, I thought if I meant to stay on the farm, they will give me a piece of land, like a piece of field to make my bigger garden, like growing my own berries and, learn to live independently. So I came up and I said, well, can I have this piece of field? And yeah, we will talk about it. And I want to make one more course with the non-surgical. And this leader on the farm, he's our pastor, he said, well, we will talk about it. So I waited patiently, and I would call Daryl sometimes, or be on the Zoom meetings, and he says, well, October course is full, November is full, January is the last one we're doing in Canada. So, and I thought I need to sign up at least for one. So I called Daryl and he says, well, we have a cancellation in October 1. Do you want to come over? I'll say, I'll get back to you and we'll see. So I went to this pastor and I said, if I come, and he says, yeah, you can have this piece of land, this piece of field. And yeah, you can get the boys, bring in the discs, the tractor, and just start working. Then it's meant for me to stay on the farm. And if he does not give me, I'll ask to go for the course and I'll just do it. I'll just go against everything. So I found him in the corrals where the cows are. They were building a new shed, a new house, whatever, for the cows in the winter when they are calving. And I asked him, he says, no, we won't give you this piece of land. It's too far. It's like he felt like I will be doing some, being more powerful or something. So, and I said, well, he did not give me this piece of land. I'm not meant to be there. I'm going on the course. So I called Daryl and he says, well, October we got a cancellation, you can come over. But I said, I want the full course. So I signed up for November and January. And everyone works into one pocket and everyone sucks from one pocket. That's our lifestyle was. So being on the farm, I had everything I wanted, but once I leave, I got nothing. But I lived an amazing life. I like it, so I made my second course. I found money. The farm paid for the first one because we had Daryl come to the farm and do a training on our farm. We had 16 practitioners. And this is how I feel. I had to live my life all the way, just led me to this place. Like when I said enough is enough, I didn't go do nothing on the farm. Within half year, he was doing that course, and if I would be doing something on the farm, I just would not be on the course. So, and I thought, whatever those courses bring me, I'm all into. And the way I behaved all my life, I even looked at some of the pictures, like my face features were so strong. I think that's why I never got married. And the life on the farm is like, get married, you'll have even more. Like, you're just spoiled. And I could not like handle everything. I thought getting married and have kids, that's it. And yeah, this course brought me to Mexico, and I'm here.
How do you feel right now with the way things are going in your life?
I feel amazing, and I'm excited for my future. I love my whole life. Like, I lived an amazing life. I feel I am the most blessed person in this room.
No, you're not. I am.
So why don't you tell everybody what's going to happen today?
Oh, because my mom had 10 of us within 12 years. I was number 2 in the family, and obviously I helped my mom raise her siblings, and I was the hen, and I had those chicks, and I have 3 sisters coming today. They run after me, they love me, they support me, and I want them to experience what I experienced in Mexico.
What do you see for your future? And you don't have to tell us. Maybe you don't know, but what do you see?
I don't know, I just feel like a bright future for myself.
Yeah, what does it look like?
I'll get everything I want.
Okay. Wow, I thought she was just going to come up and say something little. Your life is not little. You are not little. You are infinite. Yes?
About your black gold product, this was made on a water fast.
Oh, come show that. Come show that. Can we do a close-up on go ahead.
Without binding up toxins.
No, you want to, they're going to, the camera.
Should I move up there?
Maybe.
You're good right there.
You're good. So, what was that? Can you say it on there again?
This
We're gonna
was me
take this.
on a water fast without binding up the toxins properly. So I did my first advanced water fast in January, and that's where I met beautiful Violet and Todd and some others, and picking up my products in Kelowna. And then I used some of his products, and my water fast was effortless, and I didn't even get a headache. I just finished one the other day, not even a headache.
Can you tell the shape? If you've been here for 2 weeks, look at the shape she's in now.
Well, thanks. My shorts are too big now.
Your shorts, yeah. Well, you should see my pants. Okay? I never wear a belt. Okay, so yeah.
So I got to get a belt. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, it was night and day. This was torture, and this was only day 3. So, thank you.
Any other questions or anything? Or do you want to move on? If something comes up, just ask it, okay? Remember something, this is your course. And we're never going to be on course, but we're going to be right on course. Do you understand? Yeah, you know what, we did a suggestion box the last course. So I'm not going to do one this one, because I did one the other course too. Do you know what the main suggestion was? For me to stay on course. How do I stay on course? The course is you. You see how people are like, it can't be like that. Life's not like that. How many people here strategize their day in the morning? No, I say there's things to do, and then the priority ones I'll go to do first, the ones I know I need to get done, but I'll only do what I need to do, and it always works out. The people that say that they've got to do everything, or they've got to have it be in control of everything, I don't know how they live with themselves. Okay. All right, let's talk about, let me think here. Let's just keep going here. Okay, so we'll talk about the humic and we'll talk about the fulvic and understand something. So fulvic comes from humic. The black diamond is the best of it all, but fulvic comes from humic. You can take the black diamond that is a humic fulvic product and guess what? You don't turn on your digestive tract. That's why you can do it during a fast. Now, this might take away some things, but if you buy the black diamond, they're gone. So I'm not going to fib to people. Okay? I'm not going to do that. So, but the fulvic is a smaller particle than the humic because the fulvic was taken from here. The fulvic works on hormonal situations. So if somebody comes to me and they are out of balance, this will balance hormones faster than anything else on the market. I don't care what you're talking about. Nothing. The humic. Thank you. Did I say it wrong?
Oh, yeah, you did.
Okay. So the humic, humic hormones, right? And understand something. Your hormones aren't out of balance, okay? The inflammation in your body is. The infection. So it really looks after that. And you'll see a change in your hormones. I don't care how hormonally out of balance you are. And if you take things to mess around with your hormones, you're always going to be messing with them for the rest of your life. Bioidentical hormone therapy. Don't play the mad scientist. Go in and create balance in your body. Okay? But this humic, also, if you were taking a teaspoon of it, okay, just even once a day, you can take more. You know what? The C thing can never bring you down that everybody thinks exists right now. The COVID. Okay? So, weight balance. Hormonal balance. Okay? All right? Infections. Preventing. Remember, if you're taking this prior to what they call the cold and the flu, you don't get it. If you take this when you get the so-called C thing, it will stop it from spreading, but you've already got it. But if you've got this going into you, but if you're doing the black diamond, you always have it in you. Just put it in your water. We are so more powerful than them. We are so more powerful than their lies. The medical system is weak, and they're very toxic. There's a lot of people that would not be alive without them. But if we could all just be honorable, wouldn't it be cool? Yeah. Okay, so the fulvic, it hydrates better than any other known product on the planet. Did you hear that? So if I was drinking structured water and I was putting fulvic into it or black diamond into it, I'm hydrating my cells better than anything else, and you are. Hands down. It's also delivering the 60, 70 nutrients. Depends. It's in there somewhere, right? Into the cells. Once it does that, the intelligence of nature, once it does that and drops the load off, it loads itself up with heavy metals and acidity and toxins, and it locks it down so you don't have any symptoms. There's no symptoms. There's no detox symptoms when you're on these products. There is no other product that does that. Every other herbal formula, every other type of nutritional formula, if you shake something up in the body, it's got to travel out and it's going to cause trouble. This causes no trouble. This and the black diamond and the black gold for the intestines. They don't cause trouble. They lock it down because when it comes out, it never puts it back into nature. Whatever it grabbed, it stays in there forever.
And only the bad.
Only the bad, because everything is a magnet. Do I attract bad people? No. Do bad people stay away from me more and more? Not bad people, but people with bad beliefs, yeah. Oh yeah, when I come into a room, I'll see people that I know right away that they're gamers and they game people. They'll stay over in the furthest corner from me. They won't even come near me. The light's too bright. And you better get that. You all have a bright light and you should shine it. That same light that Jesus had is in you. And that's all that Jesus said. Go for the light. You are the light.
Does black gold result in black poop?
What?
Does black gold?
Not in everybody. People with, the worse your digestion is, the blacker it'll be. The weaker the digestive tract is, right? Okay? It's like this. People, well, first of all, if I didn't chew my food, it's going to come out in particles. But there's people that will chew their food, but they'll still see small particles because the intestinal integrity is gone. You kick the crap out of the highway. So now you got to go and you got to repair. And you don't want to do a patch job. You want to cover the whole highway, starting with your stomach and work all the way through. But understand something. By doing these products that we're talking about, you're gonna repair your stomach. Your stomach can be your stomach, your intestines, all the way down to your rectum can be totally repaired. Totally repaired. You heard what I said. But you're going to have to get the non-surgical work. Because every time that you felt a pain, a cramp, okay, all right, you are creating scar tissue. If you could actually see in your abdomen, you would see it bands like adhesions wrapped around your small intestine, large intestine. That's why you said as soon as you got the work done, you can hold your urine. 49% of all women drip urine. And that can end with doing just the daily cleansing tea, the tummy love, the black gold, and or the black diamond, okay? All right? And then guess what? You need non-surgical. When you get in there, snap, crackle, pop. Get your pelvis work done. There's not a woman in here that doesn't have 2 baby fists on either side of her ovaries. The only reason why you get cysts on your ovaries is because guess what? Did you want ovarian cancer or did you want a bag of pus? Which one? Which one do you want? And then we'll go in there and we'll do the non-surgical, and guess what? In 5 to 10 minutes, the cyst can be that big and it's gone. Oh my God, don't break it. Yeah, break it. Gently break it. Your body will carry it away. As soon as you start to get the cork out of your butt and you're putting in high vibrational foods and on the perfect day diet, all of this stuff needs to leave. The only reason why you need a storage tank is because you need to store it somewhere because you are not efficiently eliminating. So I really like Tummy Love, but we use the Tummy Love a lot. Tummy Love is great for children. If I was going to put children on a product, it would be Tummy Love. Why? Because the last thing a child needs is a cold and flu right now. The mother will off herself. Okay? Oh my God! Right? Even though, what is that? 99.979, jeez. But anyways, it's all an illusion. But she'll have a contusion, right? So, Tummy Love is 70% humic and then 30% fulvic. Now, but why only 30% fulvic? Well, because most kids aren't toxic puppies. Okay? But, okay, we want to make sure we get all anything that's called a virus, the infection out. We want to protect them. We want to protect their hormones too. Okay? Because right now, the psychos out there are wanting to sterilize your children. So the fulvic, the 30% is just enough to bring the heavy metals out, the acidity, because they're more efficient. Their systems are more efficient. They have more energy. Okay? So Tummy Love is really great for them. You know, you can use the black diamond or you can use a little bit of Tummy Love. Yes?
I use a lot, the Tummy Love.
Yeah.
I use.
Yeah.
For me.
Yes. And I'll be honest with you. Using the black diamond, okay, and then using the Tummy Love is a really beautiful combination. It is.
Okay.
Yeah. And understand something. If you can repair the highway, see, it's always from the inside out, the healing. From the bottom up. From the bottom up. That's why we get the cork out. So from the bottom up, from the inside out, that's how healing takes place. Okay, your skin may take a while to heal because you've got to bring the load down in the colon and the liver. Once you do that, the skin goes, I'm back. Because the skin is the mirror of the health of your large intestine. Okay? Any other questions? Okay.
Are you taking the black diamond? Is it
What?
like taking those bottles and the fulvic and the other?
Okay, it is, but you know what? You have to learn about things, right? The black diamond, I wouldn't need the fulvic if I was on the black diamond. But what if I had really my hormones were whacked out? What should I be doing? Black diamond and the humic. Okay, good. Now, what if I had a child that I put on the black diamond, okay, but that child had a lot of tummy problems and a lot of bowel problems? What would I do? I'd be doing some of the daily cleansing tea and the tummy love until we own again, until we regulate. Okay, did you get that? Yeah. Okay, it'll come. It'll all come.
Hormonal issues with babies.
Hormonal issues with babies.
We are seeing more and more, even babies having pubic hair, things that like that crazy.
Well, it's the diet. It's the diet and it's the bowel.
No vaccination with this baby that that is a patient of mine. No vaccination.
How old's the baby?
18 months old.
18 months old. And I guess what? That baby, let's do some homework. You go find out. That baby was terrorized in the mother's tummy. And then when the baby came out, it was still terrorized. So who was it, the mother or the father? What type of persecution? Because that's what happened. And you better get it. Okay? Or when the mother was pregnant, she did antibiotics.
No, but she was on hormonal therapy for.
Oh my, okay, okay, then there it is. What, if you would have said that, it would have been over. It would have been over. So now that can all be balanced out. How? Get the baby on the humic, get the baby's bowels moving. I guarantee you the baby's bowels are just messed straight up. Is the mother breastfeeding?
Yes.
Okay. What type of diet is she on?
She's she learned from her own experience and she's on all
Get her on the
plant diet.
yeah, but get her doing the get the baby on the infinite iodine and the mother.
Iodine or iodine?
Infinite iodine. Okay? And then get her on the ionic calcium therapy. Fast. This will work so fast.
Oh, which one also?
Well, it depends on your, again, what are you worth and what are you willing to spend? I mean, I'd always have her on Merigen. And if I wanted the baby to come around that fast, I'd have her on Merigen 3 or 4 times a day. And we'd do that for maybe 2 months. And then we'd have the baby on infinite iodine. We'd have the baby on tummy love, right? In its baba, in its drinking water. And guess what? Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. A little bit of the daily cleansing tea, watch its bowels. The bowels are probably pasty or not at all.
Like just a tiny little bit of the tea.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So let's say 18 months. The baby weighs what? 20 pounds.
About.
What?
Just about.
20 pounds. So now let's divide that into 5. Okay. So if that means the baby would give, we would start off with 1 ounce a day. We always start off less. So 1 ounce a day for the baby, and then if the baby wasn't moving right, we'll go to 1 ounce twice a day, and then watch what comes out. And guess what? Don't be surprised if pinworms come out and lots of worms come out of the baby. Yeah. If you've got hormonal problems, you've got worms. You're out of balance. Your vibration is low. That's what they want to do. They want to knock you out of vibration. If you knock out of vibration, then predators move in. First, predators move in from the outside world, and then they move into you.
And then doing a little enema on the 18-month-old, would that be beneficial?
Are you kidding? It'd be amazing. It would be amazing. So what you do is you take a little bit of tummy love. So let's say on an 18-month, you would do 4 ounces to 3 ounces in an ear syringe. Warm water, structured if you could. Put a little bit of tummy love in there. What would you put in? Well, maybe just a teaspoon. And you'd mix it with the 3 ounces, the 4 ounces of water. You gently, mommy's rubbing the belly, okay? Okay? Or mommy's putting it in, daddy's rubbing the belly gently, and someone else is playing bicycle with the baby, pumping. And then rubbing the tummy and smiling and laughing You're going to put a garbage bag underneath, and then you're going to see a glob of mucus or something so putrid, stinky come out. And then watch things change. And do stand back.
How often should be the enema?
Well, that depends on what comes out.
Until it's clear.
Listen, I've done an enema on a 3-day-old. Was born with eczema all over its body, and it was in pain. I did a video, I don't know if, we never did splice that, did we, Sean? I did one where I did a video just on the floor with this lady, and her child, because she did so many antibiotics, and the child got antibiotics, when it was born, had snake skin. 3 weeks later, beautiful skin. Enema, just what we just did, the exact thing we talked about, okay? Beautiful skin. But the mother also put silver bullet gel, okay? Silver bullet gel on the baby. She also used just a little bit of C60 coconut oil, and then she did the enemas. And she also would spray the Beyond Beauty spray on the baby. And that was it. That was it. 3 weeks. Okay, they wanted to use cortisol cream on the baby. Yeah, let's push it back into the body. Okay? Any other questions? Okay. Let me see what I haven't talked about. Okay, I'll just talk about this. Pain away spray is for inflamed areas, okay? Joint pain, things of that. It is a fulvic. But pain away spray, okay? All you do is just spray the area, okay? And then you can use pain away essential oil on a joint problem. But the pain away spray you could put on a skin problem, eczema, psoriasis, rash, anything, face, anywhere on the body. And then pain away essential oil you don't put on a rash or anywhere. You can use fulvic on a joint problem, any type of pain, any type of blockage, stiffness, you can use pain away. Remember something, essential oils are high vibrational. They increase the circulation. High vibration brings balance, takes down pain, inflammation right away. Okay?
Did you say put the oil on after the rash, or don't put the oil on top of the rash?
No, you can do that, but if you, okay, can I tell you something? You're not going to do this to a child. They're going to heal faster. But you know, how many people do you know have eczema or psoriasis? Well, that's a problem coming from the large intestine. They're full of fungus. They are so full of fungus that the fungus that was in the large intestine actually drilled holes through the large intestine. So then the fungus drilled holes. Okay, now how did that happen? Okay, let's talk about this. And this is 99.9% of the cases, and we can prove it. Okay, so what happened was they took antibiotics, or the mother took antibiotics. The mother took antibiotics, or the person took antibiotics. And then you're also taking antibiotics every time that you drink milk, every time that you eat animal products, you're taking the antibiotic. You're also taking antibiotics in all your drinking water, filtered water, if it's not structured, because you're taking the vibration. So understand, everybody's taking antibiotics, okay, unless you structure your water and you go to only organics and you stay away from taking antibiotics from the doctor. So when you take antibiotics, let's take this. 0 means no vibration, right? That would be like a donut, okay? Antibiotics are way down here. They run into the negative. What does that mean? That means that antibiotics turn on the microbe of what? Fungal problems. And you're not supposed to have fungal problems till you're dead, because the fungus is to drill holes in you and to decompose your physical body to bring you back to the soil. So now you worked on, what you did is you woke up the drill bit predators when you took the antibiotics, because it was a vibration below 0 that you're only supposed to have when you're dead or on your way out. Do you ever walk into a nursing home and smell kind of soap pepperoni smell? That's the fungus oozing out of older people. And I'm not picking on them. Okay, because if you're in a nursing home, they're leaving you there to rot. I don't know a good nursing home. I haven't found one yet. So the reality is, that's the smell you smell. That pepperoni smell off of old people, that's the mold. So they're alive, and this is but the death predators are already working. So they're drill holes. Okay, did you ever see a tree that's dying? It's got holes in it, doesn't it? Where did I see that one? Was it at our place or here? But there's a tree and it's still growing, but it's got a hole right through it from the termites. So Candida is a termite, and it's eating holes through your intestine. So now you're really pooping in your pelvis and your bloodstream. But now the fungus gets to go throughout the bloodstream, and the body goes into your brain and everywhere else. But when you get too much of it, it starts coming out of the skin. So if you've got eczema and psoriasis and you're older and not a child, then what I would do is I would take this, my clapper, and I would clap until I have pus coming out or a little bit of blood. And then I would use things like the infinite iodine and spray on it. I would use the fulvic spray and spray on it, okay? What else would I do? Well, I would take some of the C60 and the silver gel, silver bullet gel, and the C60, and I'd rub it right on it, make a paste. But if you don't go into the large intestine and do what we did first, talking about the daily cleansing tea, talking about the tummy love stuff and the black gold, then you're not gonna heal. It's gonna come back. You gotta go to the root cause, which means your large intestine has become a screen door in a submarine. So remember something, the whole antibiotic thing, I'm really tired of antibiotics really saved the world. Well, really? No, they didn't. I'll tell you what saved the world. Putting the plumbing underground. Okay, the plumber saved the world, not the doctor. I call bullshit. Okay? And also, remember something. Our bodies can fight off any infection when we're not being infected by a toxic information system. And guess what? The only reason why people used to get sick is they poop in their backyard and front yard. It was all about sanitation. And now this whole bacterial gel thing and this insanity, go ahead, kill all the bacteria you can and you'll be dead. Because you are a walking, talking glob. You got somewhere around 50 trillion cells in your body. It's probably more. I don't think anybody knows how to count them. But the reality is you have 10 times more bacteria in you than you have cells. So what does that tell you? And that's natural and occurring. So let's just go in and devastate them? So I'm not telling you not to do antibiotics, but you better make sure it's a life-threatening thing, because if it isn't, you've just caused a life-threatening problem. Now you turned on the drill bit predators that are going to drill holes through your intestine so that now you're set up for a life of dis-ease. There. Nobody ever told you that, did they? Yeah.
Getting bit by a tick right off the bat, fill them up with a black diamond and a gimmick, and it's just gonna suck.
Yeah, and if I got bit with a tick, I would take like immunity essential oil, right? And I would just put it in here. I would take a ton of black diamond that day. But here's the deal. I lived in Nova Scotia, and I got bit by ticks all the time. You're not going to like this. I'm bigger than a tick.
Yeah, but most people aren't.
You know why? Because they're victims. They're victims, and they've got a high sugar, high flour diet, high dairy diet. So yeah, it's a perfect breeding ground. You know what came first, the swamp or the mosquito? Okay, first you had the swamp and then the tick. If you didn't have a swamp, the tick wouldn't talk. Tick talk. You have to speak louder. When people do have to take antibiotics,
Then they should be taking a probiotic because it kills off all the bad bacteria, and if you take a probiotic, it will balance it. Is that true or is that not true?
I would be doing things that are way higher in immune system building right away, okay? The good bacteria, you got to understand it's doing a lot less than you think it is. Okay? The most important thing if you had to do antibiotics would be what? Daily cleansing tea and coffee enemas. Don't think we should bring down the load right away? Antibiotics always cause constipation. And if you don't get constipated by an antibiotic, then you have a blowout called diarrhea. So reality is this. What's most important is the strength of the terrain. So that means tissue integrity, doesn't it? So what if I were to do colon cleansing and I were to do liver cleansing and then I were to go on an advanced water fast right after the antibiotic or during it? Okay, and then I was taking things like the Merigen, I was taking things like the Black Diamond, I was doing things like loading up on infinite iodine, because this is the only iodine in the world, we'll get to it later, that you cannot blow your system out with. You could drink a gallon of it, you're not going to hurt yourself, but it's a waste, right? Yeah, and I'm not telling you not to do the good bacteria either. I'm saying go ahead.
Ixtapa baby shows going up at 7 today.
What?
It is edited.
What?
The eczema baby that you mentioned?
Oh, really? It's going up?
Yeah, at 7 p.m. Central.
7 p.m. Central, okay. The eczema baby's going up. I don't know if I want to call it that, but okay. Okay. Baby with eczema.
So do you think those people then have Lyme's disease, or it's just like autoimmune disease?
Oh, I think most of it's a crock. Okay, people, listen, it's the go-to. What a practitioner does now? Lyme's disease. You know what? It's the latest, greatest. What was a few years before this? And every year, it's either going to be B vitamins, or it's going to be calcium, or it's going to be zinc. Let me tell you something. Tara was diagnosed with Lyme's disease. And I just went, give me a break. You eat like crap. You don't have Lyme's disease. And she didn't have Lyme's disease. But she had the symptoms of Lyme's disease. Because the symptoms, remember something. Oh, God. Yeah. Bullshit. Okay. There's no such thing as HIV, but you've got the symptoms of HIV. And I'm not saying there's no such thing as Lyme's disease, but guess what? It's our go-to. And when you've got Lyme's disease, there's no cure for it. So which one would you like to have when you've given up on yourself and you've given up on life? I know other people aren't going to like me right now. What?
It sounds better to the person to have Lyme's disease than HIV. That's what you're saying, right?
No, I'm saying that the reality is there's no cure for Lyme's disease. That's what everybody's saying right now. Because guess what? They haven't had a drug that will affect it properly. And I'll tell you something, you give me a person with Lyme's disease and I'll give them their money back only if they listen to what I'm saying. And they give me 6 weeks to 3 months and they won't have any of the symptoms. Did you hear what I just said? Okay, so put your money where your mouth is. You know what? Let's just shut up with this stuff. We're bigger than any dis-ease. And understand something. Health practitioners are also only as strong as their beliefs. Did you get that?
Find solutions for all the Lyme people, they say they have.
What?
I was just trying to find solutions for all the Lyme people because they come in so some are.
Stop telling the story. Stop telling the story. Stop telling your Lyme's disease story. Stop telling why you can't do things. I've got Lyme's disease, I can't do that. I got Lyme's disease, I can't do this. You know what? You tell a story long enough and strong enough and you're going to become it. My God. You know what? I know that if I tell a story long enough and strong enough, I'm going to get sick. If it's a sick story. Tell a sick story. Everybody knows when you told a sick story, you were sick. You know what? Why are you depressed? Because you tell a depressed story all the time. Why are you stressed? Because you tell a stressed story. You don't understand. You don't understand my life. You don't understand what I've gone through. Everybody has a story of what they've gone through. And I'm not trying to demean or tear anybody down. So you need to get that. We're all locked in our story. I was locked in my story. I was a victim. I wanted to blame my kids, my wife, and everybody else on my dysfunction. And it wasn't their fault. They were fighting with their own dysfunction, especially my kids, because we gave it to them. But we didn't know we did. So there's no guilt here, okay? But just understand something. You are your story. And you know what? We have made doctors gods. Sorry, Bill. You've got 3 weeks to live, by my calculations. Go home and get everything ready. Why don't you shove that up your ass? Okay, because he's right. He's right. Before you say that, he's right. The only way he's going to be wrong is if you don't act like the herd. If you don't eat like them, drink like them, think like them. If you don't act like them. Are you kidding? I got this. No, you only got 3. No, I don't. Shut up. I'm out of here. I'm going to make plans, and me and my wife are going to go someplace where we can be by the seaside. We can have a whole plant-based diet, juicing, okay? I want to get to know her again. I want to leave all this behind. I'm going to go heal myself. And that's how it is. Remember something, a tumor is just a storage shed for you and all the hate and anger that you've had in your life. And it's all been about yourself. People don't want to hear this. They don't want to hear this. Right now, I guarantee you, people just went, shut up. Lyme disease, let me tell you, I was supposed to do a whole series and write a book with a doctor. And I said, cool, let's do it. And he bought the whole story on Lyme disease. I could not do it with him. He was crippled with Lyme disease in his mind. Remember something, you can't have a disease unless you create the environment for it to be there. Your body is a petri dish. Invisible creates the physical. Change the environment of the petri dish and you change the whole situation. That's science. That's real science. What do you do if you have a natural health practitioner that is crippled emotionally? You run, you're not going to get well. You're not going to get well. What time is it?
12:15.
12:15. Okay.
Oh, and it's baby's pelvic block, reverse uterus, reversible to dock down the line.
Baby's what?
Baby's pelvic block, reverse, irreversible. You gave it that time.
Babies. Issues in their tissues, eczema or something. Let's call it that. I don't even know what that was. I didn't make that up. That is not what I said. Yeah, whatever. See, you made that up. Thank you, but I didn't. You know, babies have issues in their tissues too. Yes?
You're going to have to speak about allergies?
About what?
Allergies not being allergies? Like gluten and all that?
Allergies not being allergies, not being allergies.
Allergies aren't allergies. It's a system that has become weakened and it hasn't got the ability to break things down or to defend you. Now, we all have an allergy to poison and poisonous people. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about things. Okay, first of all, there was no allergies when I was young. Very few. Very few allergies that people had. And you always have to look at the bowel when you look at allergies. And you got to look at the cecum for allergies. That's where the block is, in the cecum usually. Okay? And also, allergies can also be a breathing problem, right? So who's sitting on your chest? Who's suppressing you from breathing deep? Who's suppressing you from living deep? I don't believe it. Remember, I'm the guy that gives the money back guarantee. Did you get that? So understand, I override everything right away. And you know why I give a money back guarantee? Because we need to get rid of the BS. What do? I specialize in allergies. Really, isn't that cool? Yeah, it's a whole big study. I took 4 years in allergies. Yeah, I bet you did. So now, let's don't do anything with the allergies except put the person on a great diet, get them to start believing in themselves, clean out their colon and their liver, and then get rid of toxic parents and toxic people, and they don't have any allergies. Tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead. Become a practitioner that deals with symptoms, and you're lost forever. You're lost forever. Because every disease and every symptom is the same cause. There are thousands of diseases, but there's the same cause for them all. Change the personality, you change the reality. Do a good detoxification, bring up the vibration of the tissue, it doesn't matter. Dr. Wolf, I need to talk to you. Okay, I only have a couple minutes. Yeah, but this is going to take 20. I've got about 500 symptoms. I don't want to disrespect them and tell them, I don't need to hear your story, because it's your story that's keeping you sick right now. How many doctors did you see? I've seen tons everywhere I go. How many medical doctors? Mainly medical doctors. Wow. Then you're so screwed up. If I could just get that person to take everything that they've heard about themselves and put it in the garbage, and they came to me and say, I don't feel well. No problem, let's do this. Let's do a perfect day consult. Let's start, okay, let's start from the bottom up, from the inside out, and give you back your life. You know what, I'm going to tell you something. Most practitioners are useless because they got useless training. And I know I'm going to get bashed for this, and I'm going to keep coming back to it. I'm the guy that gives the money back. And why do I do that? Is it a sales pitch because I want to make more money? Or am I trying to tell people that they've been hooped? Specialist my butt. Specialist my butt. Well, I don't know. They can't find out what's going on. They're going to send me to a specialist. Well, that's a guy that's going to give you even more toxic drugs. Okay? He knows how to push the envelope further. Everybody, you can keep whatever you want to believe in, but guess what? When you're done trying to get somebody well, say, go to Dr. Wolf, and guess what? Let's make him give your money back. This is the only way I can get people to shut up. Because if you've got the majority of practitioners believing in a dysfunctional system, majority rules. But as soon as I say, come on my show, come on toe to toe. Because there'll be people right now commenting and going, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a charlatan. And then guess what? My people, when they go through that, or if I don't go through the messages, I'll go, come on my show, we'll book you. Me and you, let's do this. Because she's still questioning me. And that's okay. And you can keep on doing it until the cows come home, but we'll see how fast you get people well.
Just about Chiari.
What?
Chiari, where your brain is too big for your skull.
Well, that's called inflammation. So your brain is inflamed. So wherever there's inflammation, you've got swelling. And understand something. The bigger something gets, the less energy it has. So you're wasting the energy in your body. So what does a star do before it dies? It gets bigger. What do people do before they die? They get bigger until they're dying, and then they fade away. What?
I'd like to share.
Long as it's not long.
It's pretty short. That I think is associated with what you're.
Can you do me a favor and bring that up? Right up? Thank you. Okay.
I took primal therapy back in the 70s, and I went through a 2-month period where I had asthma. And I said to the therapist, you know, I've never had asthma in my life. And, you know, all this asthma and everything. When I finished the therapy, I went back to Ottawa, and I was able to get my records from the Children's Aid Society. And there it was, as a baby, I had asthma. So, yeah.
Undealt with issues in your tissues that were suppressed, that came to the surface. Why shouldn't he have it all the time? Why does he just have it sometimes? Because when you have anxiety, your issues show up. You don't have a headache till you're stressed. You don't have cramps in your tummy until you're stressed or you're exhausted. You don't have pains. Okay, where do you find the pains in your body? They keep coming back every time you're what? Stressed out or tired. Yes or no? Yeah. So you haven't learned how to care for yourself yet. Oh, I just love coming up against practitioners that just because the story was told 1,000,000 times, they're going to think they can own it. Well, I make a deal with every practitioner. When you're done with your patient, send them over to us and we won't charge. And we'll show you what we can do. When you can't help, we will. Because you got to give the power back to the person. There is no allergy. There is an inability to digest something on an emotional or physical level. So bring up the system. Where were we with products? Let me see. Where did I finish with? Pardon? Okay, all right. Let's. Curcumin? Okay, we'll do that. If I can just see it.
I think it's behind the dentagen stuff and everything. Is it that big?
Oh yeah, there it is. Thank you. Okay. So everybody talks about turmeric, right? But understand something. Curcumin has 95% curcuminoids in it. Turmeric only has 5%. You'd have to, if you took in 1 teaspoon of curcumin, you'd have to take 20 teaspoons of turmeric. I'm not telling you not to put turmeric on your food. It would just take you forever to get there. Because curcumin is the concentration of the turmeric. Did you get that? Ours comes from India. It's organic. It's the richest soil that we could find, that we could get it from. Okay, and then we use 6% African cayenne. And the reason we do that is because it triggers the curcumin and it brings it up to a 50-time potential. Some people use black pepper, but it doesn't work as well. Okay, so we only put enough cayenne in there to trigger the curcumin. And it's all about circulation. This is the best product, the most inexpensive product, all the way from inflammation to cancer that you can take. And on here, it might say one thing, but this is how I do it. You know, take 1 twice a day if you want. Take 2 twice a day if you want. But if you want to go in and bring down your inflammation, bring up your circulation, and really turn things around, you might be taking 1 curcumin cayenne every other hour. Or you might be doing 1, if you can get away with it, 1 every hour. And if you find that you take it and you feel it burning, it's not from the cayenne, it's from increased circulation, and it pulls the acid out in you. So you might have to do it with food. That means that you already have an inflammatory digestive tract.
What would you suggest? I've used both FibroClear and...
FibroClear, yeah.
But which one would you suggest for all of this?
For what?
The swelling, that feels like swelling anyway.
Well, I would be going with, well, let's put it this way. FibroClear will cost you more.
I've got it.
And you, okay, well then I would do both.
Okay.
I would do both. You know, I would do the FibroClear right now if it's affordable. 3 times a day.
And that would work from sage.
Yeah, and then I would be doing a curcumin cayenne every other hour. And then if you feel like you're getting heartburn, it's not from that. It's all the acid that it's pulling out. Okay? You can either do baking soda and warm water, on an empty stomach, and that'll neutralize that acid right away. You'll burp and fart, or if you let it build up, you're going to have to do the therapeutic vomiting.
I'm good with the curcumin. Last year when I had done a water fast, my second one, and I had extreme pain.
Do you want to come over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was one of the most amazing healings that I'd had.
What's that?
Pain across my hips here.
Yeah.
Because I got a twisted spine, torqued pelvis,
Yeah, I
lots
know,
of stuff in there.
but the curcumin cayenne was actually bringing down the inflammation
It
and
was.
infection in her large intestine,
Yeah.
which took it off the back.
Yeah.
The back only gets in trouble when the colon is down and out. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was in the middle of a coffee enema and just enjoying coffee enema, laying there with peace, and then all of a sudden I got all this burning pain here. But I just continued my enema and did another one the next day. It was a water fast. It went really well. I called you and talked to you, and I just did a lot of curcumin for 3 days, did a lot of the squats, a lot of the stretching, the pelvic expander, and I worked through it. So I thought it was really amazing. It was wonderful. So I can dance better. Free up those hips.
So here's the deal, okay? She's found the little girl inside, okay? And right now you can tell she's going through a bit of a war, right? You can tell
Yeah.
the difference in her.
Yeah.
But you don't let that bother you. Because now you'll see in a few days she's going to look younger than she did 3 or 4 days ago. Let it come to the surface. Let the ugliness that you suppress come to the surface, and then release it. Okay, baby.
Yes.
Yeah, you and Chubby
Yeah,
Checker.
I have a book.
What?
But I want you to add to it. I have a book that's not published yet. Get Your Butt Back.
Put your butt back. Okay, all right.
But
Okay.
I want you to add to it about the whole root chakra and how that adds to it when you're talking about squats the other day.
Yeah.
That's good info. I'd like to contact my publisher and get it in there.
Okay, go for it. Go for it, girl. Remember something, everything that I talk about, you take, if you want it. Write your own book, take my books, tweak it a little bit, make it yours, put your name on it, take my videos, make it yours. The world needs you, and it needs you now.
I have one more question about the cayenne.
The cayenne or the curcumin cayenne 5000?
Cayenne, yeah, the African, does that actually look like a black pepper seed, or is it?
No, it's cayenne.
Okay.
But it's only 6%. It's just enough to trigger.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah. Yeah, and you want to do that for a while. And then the other thing is this, I always take 1 twice a day. I don't need to take more anymore. There was a time that I was doing 3 or 4 times a day, all right? Because I was in there doing my work, right? I don't need it. Got to understand something, everyone. You got a 20-foot ladder, a 20-foot hole, get a 20-foot ladder. Don't get a 5-foot ladder like most practitioners give their patients. And you're going, yeah, I feel it, I'm getting. That's what we do. People call and they go, okay, so what can I do to get well? And I go, this is what you're going to need to do. Don't look for anything for 6 to 3 months, 6 weeks to 3 months. But within a few days, you're going to see the lights come on. But in 6 weeks to 3 months, you're going to be going, oh my God. And then just remember something. We usually have to go hard for 6 weeks to 3 months, and then we can back off. But you're looking at a year, not of spending tons of money. We're backing off as we go. As you become more, you spend less. Do you think you could become more? Right? Isn't it great how we teach everyone that they have allergies? Isn't it great how we disempower them? Isn't it great, huh? How we tell them that they have a disease instead of they have a program that they're running that created the disease. You know, you're so scared to give everybody back their power on a subconscious level because you have scarcity. You think you need to sell. I got to sell. We're all programmed for poverty, aren't we? Tell me we're not. There's the problem right there. Your poverty consciousness. Well, it's allergy season, really. So what it actually is it's a climate change. We're going into spring. We're going into fall. And that's what it is. And your immune system is down, and it can't even take a little climate change. Seriously. So let's just cripple everybody, why don't we? And understand, if you really wanted to monitor your patients, you'd find out when they had a trauma in their family, their allergies got worse. We are so asleep at the wheel. Yeah.
Can I share a story about allergy?
Sure.
About 30 years ago, I started having the sniffles and everything. So I went
30 years ago, I have to repeat it. 30 years ago, you started getting sniffles.
Yes.
Yes.
I went to the doctor, and he said you have allergies.
Went to the doctor, he said you had allergies.
And he gave me medication. He gave me, oh no, I'm sorry. He said go get Claritin off the...
Claritin.
Yeah,
Okay.
off the
Shelf.
shelf. So I took that for a year and a half every day. I just could not stop taking it.
So a year and a half you took it every day and you couldn't stop taking it. Right. But can I say something before she goes any further? Her belief actually caused her allergies. All right, if I've got a limp and I don't know that I could go and get Wolf non-surgical and the limp would be gone in one treatment, in most cases, then I'm going to get a cane. If I walk with the cane and walk with the limp long enough, do you know what happens when we have people come to us that have been limping for over 9 months? We fix them, and this one lady, we actually did a video with her, and they're gone. Her hip problem's gone. And what does she do? She walks to her car like this. And I go, are you in pain? Oh my God. No, I'm not in pain. I go, did you see yourself? You're limping as if you still have your cane. She goes, oh my gosh, honey, please remind me. Okay, go ahead.
So I went to Yosemite with my family, and I got up early in the morning. I went out and I saw all the pollen coming off the trees. And I said to myself, oh my God, I'm allergic to Mother Earth. I love Mother Earth. I don't want to be allergic to her. I'm never taking allergy medication again.
And what happened?
Gone.
Boom. And you know what? How is that for a perfect setup? I said something and then she came in and went, there you go. I'll give you $5 later. Oh, listen. I'm living here full time. It is pesos. That is their dollar. Okay? In Rome, do as the Romans. Yeah.
I just did an allergy story too. I was always told that my grandpa had allergies
Here.
to medicine.
1 second.
Sorry, metal.
Don't you just love these allergy things? It's the greatest moneymaker, isn't it?
I was always told that my grandpa was allergic to metal, and he couldn't wear a pant snap, and he had a jackknife in his pocket. My grandma used to have to like layer a whole bunch of layers and sew it in there, and he made himself a leather watch, a tool watch, so he could wear a watch always. And so I one time, a little, tickle in, oh, you've got the same allergy as your grandpa. So my whole life, I haven't been able to wear any jewelry, no matter which kind I tried, didn't matter.
You loved your grandpa.
I did.
That's
He was
why.
awesome.
She loved her grandpa. All right.
So, yeah, I pierced my ears in the last year. I wear jewelry again, and.
But that was the ode to your grandpa.
Yeah.
You know what? I love you, and because I love you so much, I will take on your suffering.
Yeah. So, my whole life I wasn't able to, and now I can. So, yeah.
Hallelujah, she's cured. Are we learning anything?
Yeah.
That it's all just BS. Belief systems. It's all belief systems. Listen, just because everybody's talking about it doesn't make it right. And if it's so right, why isn't anybody getting well? Isn't it kind of funny? If you go by that belief, then you can only help to calm down the allergy. If you go by my belief, the allergy goes and it stays away. Why? Because it's just a what? Belief. So believe what you want, and I don't even care. But just know you're not getting your money back because it's day 2. Poo on you. How we doing? We'll get through the products. Just know this, everybody that is watching, that after we get through the products, we will not be coming back on. Because then we're going to get down into the nitty-gritty of everybody here. I don't want you to be like me, but I'm going to hold the line here. Who here has 43 years in natural health? Who here has been charged with murder? Who here has been charged with $250,000 from the dairy board? Who here has had the CBC after them? Who here has had the medical system after them? Who here has had the Massage Therapy Association after them? Who here has had the income tax in Canada come after them with a $300,000 fraudulent bill? All because of the work they do. So when you're done telling me what's going on, after all of that, if I didn't believe it was true, I would talk like you. Did you come to learn, or did you come to defend your belief systems? Thank you. Because guess what? That just reached her. For a few minutes there, it was, and guess what? It needs to be. Because guess what? You need to challenge me. You got to challenge me with everything. And then you've got to prove it to yourself. Don't you dare go, oh, he's just so amazing. Everything he says is so right. Don't you dare do that. Just because I have a conviction in what I'm doing doesn't mean it's right. I've done it enough for myself, but understand, I put myself on the line. It's not like I'm a practitioner hiding out. I bring the challenge to the floor every time because you need to prove it to yourself. So understand that. I don't want, okay, you know the people that I love the best? The people that go, I don't believe you, prove it to me. You're here to learn, you paid me to teach you, but I have to prove things to you. If it's new, you're not supposed to accept it right away. Why would you do that? Make sure that I can validate it and I can prove it in many different ways to you. Challenge me, put me in the corner, pin me down. I'm not kidding. Come up against me. Oh no, I wouldn't want to do that. You better do that. You better challenge me. You want to make sure that this is the right way. How many times have we gone down the right way? Oh my God, the money we wasted, the time we wasted, the energy we wasted. What time is it?
12:40.
12:40? Okay, everyone. Yes, please. I'm going to take questions right now, and then we'll come back and we'll finish the products after. We will finish the products today. And then what we're going to do is this. I want everybody to think about this. I want to think about somebody you love dearly that's sick right now. Tomorrow morning, all day long, we're just going to talk about the people that you love and what I would do if I was you. How's that? Do you like that? That's called a training. Okay? We're going to get personal about the people that are in your life, that if you could help them, what would you do? And that's what we're going to do the whole day tomorrow. And then wait till you see what you learn. Okay? Yes?
Regarding allergies, I ate something once about 3 years ago, and my upper lip.
You ate something once 3 years ago. I know, but you got to talk louder. Okay, go ahead.
And my upper lip swell.
Yeah, keep yelling like that because here.
I don't think this does this work?
No. This is for the video.
Got it. So my upper lip swell up, and I'm assuming the back of my tongue swell up because I couldn't speak. So I would like to understand what happened.
What did you eat?
Hummus.
Okay, well there could have been something in it that was bad. Okay?
'Cause
Or
he
there
keeps
could have been
saying allergies.
it could have been something in it that was good. What was her chokehold? What got stuck in your throat forever? What if there was a vibration in the hummus that just actually triggered it? And if you know what, can you remember that time when you ate it? Okay, what was happening that day or the day before? What was happening? Think about it.
No, I don't know what was happening the day before.
Sit calmly with it, and then maybe it'll come to you.
Okay.
Okay? Remember something, everything is vibrational. A vibration will create something, or it will release something, or it will cause something. Okay, so there's not just one, but hundreds of doctors have, in a lab, been able to turn a cancer cell on and a cancer cell off. They can do it like a light switch, and they use different frequencies to do it. And I guarantee you, when you felt it start to tighten up from the hummus, you already had a stress thing going on, and I know you stressed right out. Oh, I'm going to choke, I'm going to die. Right away, when you say I'm going to choke, I'm going to die, what do? You go into a what? A sympathetic state, and that's a contraction state. So instead of breathing and relaxing and putting a smile on her face, it would have went away. And people are going, no, that's not true. When soon as you felt the tightening and the swelling, what did you do? Did you just breathe and relax, or did you get stressed out and think that you were going to be choked off and you were going to die? Which one? Are we done yet? Are we done yet? I was going to eat it. It is lunch. Are you getting it? What are you scared of? What are you still scared of? Are you fearful for your children? Yeah. Like, that's not obvious. That's got to stop right now. Because you're going to create what? Fearful children. Oh, you create disease in yourself, right? Which breast is it? Left one? Okay. Does anybody know what the left one signifies? Fear for children. When I breastfeed my children, I hold them like this. That's the first breast I go to. Not me, but.
That's the breast that make more milk too.
Yeah. Yeah. So when do you want to get over the fear for your children and their lives?
No.
Yeah. Or you can just keep on giving people your money until you realize that your children are safe. So why do you worry so much about your children? Did one of them almost die? I'll tell you, one of my children almost died, and I had to get rid of the fear. Because if I stayed with the fear, I would have ruined them. Maybe I already did, I don't know. But the reality is this, you got to get rid of this. Every time that you feel about something, well, honey, no, I don't want to go there. I don't want to leave them alone. No, honey, I don't want to do this. No, honey, I don't want to do that. I wonder how the children are. Oh, I can't do this because of the children. Stop it. Stop. Because guess what? Your children are going to grow stronger. Right? How would you like me to hover all over you and worry about you all the time? Do you think you could stop terrorizing your left breast and the children? What?
Absolutely.
There. So. Okay. What?
What's the right of the breast?
Why don't you go and watch The Emotional Chemistry of Cancer, Disease, and Healing in my library? It's 2.5 hours, and then watch it 20 times. And then you're going to go, oh my God. And I mean 20 times. It's worth it. And then read it, and then make notes, and then rewrite it, and tell your own story, and then put it in your own website. Own it. Okay? All right. I want to thank you all for putting up with me. I'm feeling much better. I'm in a better mood now. Have a wonderful lunch, and we'll see you after lunch, and we'll finish the product training.